Good morning. Good morning. We got ship to do. We got 32 total orders for 33 units going out the door. There was one Poshmark bundle. We got orders on all the platforms, by the way, too. So we got eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, I had to think for a second there, and chrisatpeak.com. So all 5 platforms that I sell on, we got orders from the weekend. And this is ordered 33. Sounds like a lot. It is. It's a great solid weekend. But we were away for the weekend. Typically, I ship on Saturday mornings most of the time too. So the 33 is a good weekend, but it's not as If I had shipped on Saturday, it would have been less. Actually, there wasn't many sales Saturday. Really, most of the sales came in like Saturday afternoon, evening, and then yesterday was a really big day. Yesterday was 17 sales. So hope you had a good weekend. I sure did. Welcome in. Kevin is announcing himself. Welcome in, Kevin. Good to have you. Bass and Coffee, back for more. I actually need another coffee. I don't know why I didn't get another one before this live. I messed up. My coffee glass is empty. That's not good. But I do have a sparkling water if you care. Grapefruit. So hope everyone's having a good start to their week. As always, I'm going to give you a good, authentic, transparent glimpse into what's going on in our business. And I'm going to show you everything that sold this weekend. I'm going to tell you how much it sold for, how much I paid for, what my profits are. And we're actually going to physically ship out all these orders like we always do. We do this 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time every Monday morning. So welcome in. If this is your first time here, let us know, right? First down below. And if you've been here more than one, give us an update. Like, give us an estimate. How many of these lives have you been to before? How many have you attended or popped into? Whether it's your first or your 50th, I mean, we've done hundreds of these. So either way, I appreciate it, whatever the number is. But I'd be curious to drop that down below in the chat. How many times have you joined us before? We got Pembroke, New Hampshire in the house. What's up, Nate? I know Pembroke. I grew up in Londonderry, lived in Manchester, lived in Lebanon, lived in Nashua. I know my New Hampshire. Lived there for 31 years. Welcome in, Nate. No empty mugs on National Coffee. It's today National Coffee Day. People text me stuff like this all the time. They'll be like, today's National Coffee Day or I feel like there's like 10 National Coffee Days. I feel like people text me about this all the time. Check your DM. Sent you a message. Thank you, Paul. Hope you're well, Paul. I'll check those out. Let me know if I have to do that now or can I just do that at my leisure. First time in, welcome. We got Wow, what a deal. First time in, welcome. Canava, welcome in. We're going to go through all our orders today, and we're going to show you exactly what sold on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, and chrisatpeak.com. Over the weekend, we are going to ship my pants. We got ship to do, Trisha. I've built up to 320 items I started 2 months ago. Dang, Nate is on a roll. Let's rip. Trisha with the questions. I like it. Hidden Isle is in the house. What's up, Tino? In the house. I found you. You're not so hidden. I can see you, brother. I can see you. I hope you sell 175 shoes today. You actually might sell more than that. I hope you sell however many shoes that you want to sell today, Hidden Isle. Hope you're doing well. I've been at least 300 lives or more. I would agree with that. I mean, we've done these for years now, hundreds of them. We used to do them every single day, but we had to wean off that a little bit. Let's get into it. You're the boss for just a moment. What are we going to ship first? eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, or chrisatpeak.com? Just write the platform down below that you want me to ship first. We're going to ship all of it. We're going to ship all of it live, but let me know where you want me to start. Appreciate that, Hidden Isle. You the man, brother. Yo, dude, working more on Monday. Just wanted to let you know I haven't abandoned the cause. Andrew, I know you're a hustler out there. I know you're getting stuff done. I wasn't worried about you. Chemo, hey, thanks for your text over the weekend. Hey, any way that you want to pay for coffee, I'll take it. So if you want to do PayPal, Venmo, or if you just want to order it from the website, Uncle Sam gets his cut either way. So it makes no difference to us. Uncle Sam's taking his cut. You can, if you want coffee, whatever way you want to pay for it works for Kim and I for sure. Hope you had a good weekend, Chemo. Nate says, happy Monday. Stumbled on you last week and I'm back. Edward's back for more. We didn't scare him away, so that's good. Oh, eBay. You're voting for eBay. I got you. I'm with you. All right, we'll start with eBay because I think that's what Nate was saying right there. He beat you, Trisha. Jesse wants to know how your pen is holding up. He made you. You know, it ran out of ink at one point in time. I mean, the pen itself, if I could find it, the pen itself is great, but I think I ran out of ink a while back on it. But thank you, Jesse. I love that pen. That wrote really nicely. We'll do some eBay first. We'll do some Poshmark after that. Let's get going. We have a lot of eBay. Yesterday was a great eBay day, like an elite eBay day. Friday was slow. I think I had 5 orders on Friday. I'll give you the exact count here. If you care. Let's go to the day. And actually now September is trending pretty well after a strong week last week. We're beating I've already beat August. So now everything else for the next few days is gravy. I guess there's only 2 days left, 29th and the 30th, today and tomorrow. So 5 sales on Friday, 11 on Saturday, 17 on Sunday. 17, I think, is the high water mark. 17 for $1,000 in sales yesterday. So that was the best. That's the best day we've had in sales out of this little business in terms of $1,000 day and 17 sales. That's our best since, I'm like going back here, probably the whole summer. That's the best since May. In May, I had a couple of 20 sales days, including a 25 sales for $1,485. That was back in May on the 4th. That was a big day. So this is our biggest day since May for sales, we had a lot of good days in May. So hopefully we get some of that back, because October tends to be a lot like May. So let's go. That's really good. I didn't even realize it was $1,000 sales day yesterday. So we'll take it. What's up? Stuart Mann is in the house. The man, the myth, the legend. Trisha, let me make sure I can find the pen first before you invest the time into shipping the refill. But I appreciate that. Let me see if I can find it. Let Trisha be the boss today. I'm fine with that. No, you said eBay. That's what we're going to roll with. Hello, Clothing and More is in the house. Okay, eBay first. I didn't even print out my shipping labels yet. What is going on, Chris? So my new mail lady already showed up. She was here at like 11:15. I was like, I am not ready for you. I would say the earliest that they've ever showed up on a Monday was 1, but they typically show up at like 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock on Mondays. But the new mail lady, she said she was going to be faster than the old one. And she wasn't. She called her shot and she was right. So we're going to have to drop off all these packages today. Boo-hoo. It's like 5 minutes down the road. Awesome. I had a bulk label printing error from eBay. Thank you, eBay. That's really exciting. I think I know what that is going to mean. When I get this error message, that means I have to go and manually print out all these labels because it probably purchased them all. Maybe. I hope that's not the case, because that's going to be really super annoying. There's like 23 sales. Let me just see if that's what happened. I don't think that's what happened. Yep, that's exactly what happened. It bought all the labels. I paid for them all. They all have tracking, but now I have to go print them all one by one. Well, that's super freaking exciting. You know what? I don't need that mess. We're going to start with Poshmark first, and then I'm going to wrestle with that. I need to get into a groove before I deal with that. Let's start with Poshmark. Sorry. That's the way it's going to go. I hate when I get that error message. That's the worst. All right, our first order on... Actually, this is a Mercari order. Let's just get this one single Mercari out of the way. This is a brand called Dunning Golf. I don't typically buy these used. They sell more in like the $15 to $18 range. So if you can find Dunning Golf for like $1, $2, $3, like garage sales, thrift stores, whatever, it's probably worth picking up. But used, it's just not enough money for me. I usually pay $5 for stuff at my local thrift stores. So this is brand new with tags, and this sold for $26.99 on Mercari. I think I paid $13 was my average buy cost on these shirts. Actually, no, I bought some at $13 and some at $10. So my average buy cost is probably around $11 or $12 on these. So not a lot of profit here. This is going out to Tony. This is going USPS Ground Advantage. As I was putting together those shipping labels today too, a lot of stuff, since we're transitioning into the fall, a lot of like 2-pound items. So items that weigh between 1 and 2 pounds. So a lot of 2-pound labels. Back in the day, some of you all been doing this for a little bit, might remember that typically if it was over a pound, we were shipping those items priority on eBay. So we would have had a lot of priority orders going out today. But instead, when they made all those changes and added Ground Advantage and got rid of first class packages, changed it to Ground Advantage, they made the prices a lot more competitive for that 1 to 2 pound rate. So now like almost nothing goes out priority. My only buy cost was roughly $4.34. I missed something. I just came back from a week-long vacation at Hilton Head Island with my wife and toddler. I hope you had a great trip. That sounds awesome. I've never been to Hilton Head. Picked up 60 items while I was there on our downtime. Their prices were so much better closer to the beach. That's interesting. Good to know. I've never been down to Hilton Head. I'll have to get down there. On Monday, my lady shows up at like 5 or 6 p.m. I've had like 4 different people since we moved here in the 3 years. And there was one person who used to show up really, really late. They had me like later on the route before. So yeah, it used to be, sometimes it was after 5 o'clock and I'd get nervous, like, crap, do I have to, like, the post office is closed, so I don't have like a fallout plan or a backup plan. I'm just gonna have to hope she comes, and she would. But they had me at the, like, I was like the last stop for a while. Now they moved me up. I don't know why they do that sort of stuff, but just to kind of torment me, I guess. Buy cost was $4.34. That's really cheap. I can't speak for others, but these lives you're doing is really helpful. I appreciate you sharing some positive vibes, Nate. We'll always take positive vibes. Thank you, sir. The change in postal delivery time is probably due to a change in route. It happens. Yeah, I got a new delivery person, so that's what happened, Edward. Good morning, Donna. I keep getting new delivery people, but she said this is supposed to be the permanent one. Next up is another Poshmark, our first Poshmark. Here's a good one, $40. So this is called the North Face. You can see the logo right there. It is a long fleece, like down. It's a women's fleece, comes down past the waist. So it's a parka. It's called the Osito Parka. This sold on a best offer on Poshmark, 40 buckaroos. This is gonna go out USPS Ground Advantage. That's so different. Still getting used to the Poshmark no priority. I have like a billion priority boxes and mailers and all this stuff that have to have a bonfire or something. So this is going to Pink Hill, North Carolina. I had never heard of Pink Hill, North Carolina. Does anyone know where Pink Hill, North Carolina is? 28572. Pink Hill. Well, thank you, Deborah. I have to Google where Pink Hill, North Carolina is. It's a big state. It's a 6-hour drive east to west, so you can't know all of the places. It's in Lenore County. Okay, so that's pretty close. 451 people live there. That's probably why I've never heard of it and never shipped there before. Where the? Oh, never mind. It says it's in Lenore County. That's way out by the coast. 451 people. This is like this for me would be like a 5.5 or 6 hour drive to get to Pink Hill. 451 people live there. It's out by the coast. It's near Wilmington. I'll ask Kim if she knows. Kim's from Wilmington. I'll ask her if she knows. Kim, have you ever heard of Pink Hill, North Carolina?
What?
Pink Hill, North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's like north of Wilmington?
Yeah, I used to drive through there when I went to school.
Got it. Kim says she used to drive through Pink Hill when she lived in Wilmington and would drive to, she went to Eastern Carolina University. She said she would drive through Pink Hill. So there you have it, folks. Next up is a pair of Zion pants. So these are from Prana. This is probably my best-selling item for Prada. It always sells pretty quickly. Now, most Prana pants have the built-in belt. This one doesn't. They're called the Prana 5-pocket pants. It's more of like an athleisure, like kind of casual pant, more so than it is like a hiking pant. The typical Zions have the belt, like I said, and it also has like a pocket, like a cargo pocket is the word I'm looking for. What's up, Tina? How are you? America's Hat is in the house. Donna's in the house. Tina, you're on both platforms. This is really strange. Good morning. IG is acting up. I'm sorry to hear that. You can look up my town in North Carolina. It's also very small. Peachland, North Carolina, around Route 74. We'll look it up just because you said so. Peachland. I never heard of that one either. Let's look it up. You're right. Right along 74. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, you're like, okay. The closest I've been to you is Monroe. I've been to Monroe. I've been to Matthews. I've been to, how do you say that term? Is it Waxhaw? I've been to those areas. I've been sourcing out that way, but I've never been that far out to Peachland. You're on the way to Rockingham. Isn't Rockingham where they have that really big Goodwill that has a coffee shop and all that stuff? Isn't that in Rockingham? Do I have my South Central North Carolina dialed in? I spend most of my time here in the mountains. I don't get down to the flatlands all that much if I can avoid it. I'm not even going to put that word up on the screen, Tina. That doesn't even, what are you even talking about? You're just stirring up trouble. Good morning. Chef Trades is in the house. Welcome back, brother. So these Prana Zion sold for a best offer of $29. These are going to Sarah. Again, every brand has hot sellers and maybe not so hot sellers, and every brand has some duds too that don't sell as well, right? People, when you first start reselling, you learn brands. That's smart. That's how I did it. You start recognizing the label name, the brand name, and that's smart. That's how you start like learning what to look for. But then the next level is when you start looking at the model or the specific item, because people don't buy brands, they buy items, right? So that's when you start making more money. So not all prana is going to sell really quickly, and those sold fast too. I'll tell you exactly how long they took to sell, and I'll tell you what profits are for those too. So those took 10 days to sell. I paid $5 for those at the thrift store. So $29. Poshmark takes 20% fee. So they're going to take $5.80 out of that. So that's going to leave me with $23.20 minus my $5 cost of goods, $18.20 profit on that pair of pants. It took 10 days to sell. I haven't even paid the credit card bill. I'll put that one up on the screen, Tina. I'll put that one up there. Do you ever source at Goodwill bins? Not often. Every now and again, I'll stop through the Goodwill bins. I'm more of a racks kind of guy, but I respect the people that do the bins for sure. And I respect Tina as well. Next up is, here's an interesting one. FedEx pants. These sold for full asking price, $24. Every time I make a video or something about these, people go crazy in the comments. People get upset and all that stuff. So you can see that reflective stripe right there. These are FedEx pants, like the delivery driver pants. They're made by VF Imagewear, and they also have the words Tom Harmon. So VF Imagewear, Tom Harmon would be on the tag of these. And it also says FedEx on them too. So these sold for $24. You're not supposed to sell delivery uniforms of any kind on eBay. It's not illegal to sell them. eBay just doesn't allow it on their platform because they think people will do tomfoolery or whatever. It's crazy. You can buy like weapons and stuff, but you can't buy pants, which, whatever. We can get into that, or we cannot get into that. But anyway, I listed them on Poshmark and Mercari. When I find these, I list them on Poshmark and Mercari. These sold for full asking price, $24. They're actually a decent seller because people who work for FedEx they don't want to pay full price for this stuff, I would imagine, right? Just like anything else. You want to get a deal, you want to buy it used, you want to save some money. These are going to North Royalton, Ohio. Thank you, Mary. Y'all, I want to hear about your sales too. Let me know, how'd your weekend go? What's moving for you? What's selling? If you found some cool stuff, I want to hear about that. I want to hear about that. If you learned a new brand or something, I love hearing about that. If you just took the whole darn weekend off and you did something cool, I like to hear about that too. Kim and I were in Winston-Salem down in the Piedmont. We visited Kim's family for the weekend. We do that every 6 weeks or so. Then we came back through yesterday evening, stopped in Black Mountain, had ourselves a bite to eat. We love stopping through Black Mountain. That's where our coffee is roasted, by the way. So we love stopping through that town. Went to our favorite restaurant called Trailside in Black Mountain. It is such a good value, that place. It is crazy. Nothing moving here. Another Canada postal strike. People afraid to. Are you serious? You guys have another one of those postal strikes? Get it together up there. That was crazy. That messed up all kinds of deliveries from the US to. I know you guys get it worse than us, but man, that messed up stuff for a long time. I've been doing SKU numbers on each item. It is easier to just do A1 on the whole box it's store. I've been doing SKU number on each item. Is it easier? Just figure out what's easier for you. People do it different ways. I just put the number, like the bin number or the box number, but some people put the SKU number. I don't know that there's like a better way or an easier way. Just figure out the way that works best for your business. You might try doing it both ways and see what you like better. Susie, good morning. Do you have a numbered bag? Do you use numbered bags for inventory storing? If so, where do you get the numbered bags? Thank you. Susie, I don't use numbered bags, no. And I think what most people do is they just have a sticker. They print out stickers with numbers on them and slap those stickers on the bag. I don't think anybody's buying numbered bags. Maybe that exists. I've never heard of it. I think they're just putting stickers on the bag. Hope that helps. Great setup there. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that. NRC, what's up? Good morning. Started Nifty and Poshmark last week. Made first sale on Poshmark. Trying Nifty adding all eBay stuff to Poshmark, 200 items, newbie. Awesome. Love that. Keep us posted on your progress there. Love that you got your first Poshmark sale. I sold a vinyl I got a while back. Nice. I like that. Good sale. You said you promote 6% on eBay. Is there a specific reason why you picked that number? No, just mess around. So Mendy, everybody's got to have like a different inventory mix. They're going to have different pricing, different photo qualities. I also have like automation tools that help me too. So you might want to promote higher than me or lower than me. It depends. If you priced lower than me, you probably wouldn't have to promote as much, right? Because you're going to get some, people are going to gravitate towards your listing for the lower price. So just tinker around with it. Everybody's got a different mix. Just because my mix of pricing, photos, cross listing, automation, and promotion works for me doesn't mean that that'll work for you. I would just say tinker with it. And is 6% the right one for me? I don't even know. I just play around with it and change it a little bit. That's the good one. I've been to that Goodwill twice. I generally head towards Monroe. Either way, it's a lot of gas just to get there. I believe it. It's probably a good ride. Chris, breathing that God-given fresh air up there. It's mountain air. It's hard to beat, my friend. I think the air in the mountains or the air like right on the ocean. It doesn't get any better than that, I think. You're welcome, Susie. I can't believe they're striking again, Tina. That's crazy. That's crazy. Gonna add Poshmark to my arsenal. I like it. Poshmark's big for us. This year I've sold, I'll tell you exactly how many items I've sold on Poshmark just to give you an idea. Platforms, Poshmark. 526 units sold on Poshmark for $19,921. So that's $20,000 in sales right there on Poshmark, and it's only September. So we'll probably finish somewhere around 30,000 because we'll have a busy couple of months coming up, October, November, December. We'll probably finish around $30,000 in sales just on Poshmark, which is really helpful. I've been selling on Poshmark since 2021 when I started cross listing. Bye. Cool. What were we doing? Carhartt pants, women's. When in doubt, just ship something. Carhartts. These are women's size 18W on these, which is a plus size. And I picked up 2 of these, $5 a piece. This is the second one to sell. So I'm sold out of these. And they sold for, what are they? They sold for $20. Just seeing how long they took to sell. 68 days, so 2 months to sell these Carhartt women's. They're called the Rugged Flex Loose Fit, and they're a carpenter style. That's a good tip when you're looking at Carhartt pants. Typically, the carpenter ones are going to sell faster. That's a good sort of general rule. Men's, women's. Look for that like carpenter loop or that hammer loop and utility pockets. That's what people are looking for. If you can find double knee too, that's going to help you out a lot. Those sell faster. But these sold for a best offer of 20 buckaroos. Where are these going? These are going to Shelbyville, Illinois. Got a nice fall day. It's kind of like a overcast, but not like dark overcast kind of day. A little bit of breaks in the clouds, but kind of just got that kind of gray fall look. The leaves are starting to change color. They're falling everywhere. So we got that nice fall look going on in Asheville here. If you go up to the elevation this week, you'll probably see some close to peak foliage. If you go way up high, like 6,000 feet, we're at about 2,300 feet right here. We're in the valley. But if you go up into the mountains high up, like if you get over 5,000 feet, probably even over 4,500 feet, you'll have some really good colors right now. This coming weekend, you'll see a lot of peak. If you're pretty much anywhere in the mountains, it'll be like really, really good. This is a great time of year to get out here to Asheville. It's cooled off a little bit. We get those nice, cool, crisp mornings, cool evenings, but it still warms up during the day. You got the foliage. It's a beautiful freaking thing. Next up is a pair of a bundle sale. So here's a $51 sale. So this is kind of I really like this sale. First of all, I like bundles. So this is $51. But what happened here is somebody on Poshmark came and liked both of these pair of FootJoy golf pants. They liked both of them. Nifty turned it into a bundle and sent them a 10% off offer. The buyer accepted. $51 sale right there. So that's the beauty of having an automation tool like Nifty. Nifty went in and created that bundle. The person liked them both, created it, sent that offer. 10 minutes later, closed the deal. You gotta love that. I love it anyway. I'll just say that. So 51 bucks, I paid $5 a piece on these. My profit is going to be $30.80 on this sale right here. I paid 10 total, 5 a piece. So these are going to Holly. Thank you, Holly. It's strange not putting these in those priority USPS supplies. It just doesn't feel right. 80 again today. Leaves are still green. That's crazy that you have warmer weather up there in Canada than we have here in the mountains. Like we're some 1,000 miles south of you, but we got elevation. I guess you don't. Gonna hurt once again. Q4. That's crazy. I can't believe that they're striking again. That makes me. I don't know what to say. I already got to that one. 80 again today. I think we'll be. We had some warmer weather over the weekend, but we were in the Piedmont. We were in the flatlands, or the foothills, as they call them. So we had some upper 70s over the weekend. Felt like 80. All right, that's all. Oh, we got one more Poshmark. I sold a pair of Salomon boots on Poshmark. You've seen me sell these a bunch of times. I bought a whole buttload of these, brand new in the box. These are going to Celia. This is a pair of women's hiking boots. I got some different colors, different sizes. So they are Gore-Tex Salomon hiking boots. They're called the X Ultra 4 Mid GTX. GTX stands for Gore-Tex. So great sale right here. Typically, I'd be resizing one of those priority boxes. Oh, look at that. This is like the little, when they shipped me these boxes, they put they don't put them in plastic or anything. They just put the shipping label right on here. See if I can get this off. Here we go. What a mess. Suppose I could have covered that up, but whatever. It's off. I actually have 2 bundles of these sitting on the front porch. I was almost out. I ordered them on Friday morning and they showed up this morning from Staples, so that's pretty good. So that's pretty good. I paid 90 cents a piece for these, which is a really good price. I'm going to drop a link right here. This is all my recommended reseller supplies, a bunch of helpful links. I just dropped them all in the chat if you're on YouTube or Facebook. You can find that same link of supplies and recommended tools. If you're on Instagram, I can drop links in the chat. You just can't click on them. So instead, just go to my profile and you'll find that very same link if you want to see all the stuff, everything, right down to like the table I use, all the shipping supplies. Makes it nice and easy for me to reorder my own stuff too. I got it all in one place, but I put it together, a big document with all the stuff we use, computer, mouse, everything, you name it. I love this mouse, by the way, one of these ergonomic mouses. My wrist was starting to hurt from using a normal mouse. I switched to that, and within like 3 weeks, my wrist pain went 100% away, which I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not, but it's an ergonomic mouse from, I guess, Logitech. Logi. I got it linked in there too. That's like one of those little things you buy that I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't like spending money. Like if I have a mouse, I don't like spending money on another mouse, right? I hate that. But so I was really skeptical, but then it freaking, like my wrist pain went away. It wasn't immediate, but it was like 3 weeks later. I was like, I haven't had wrist pain in a while. That's pretty good. I've been using it for probably 3 or 4 months now and haven't thought about wrist pain since. eBay was giving me notice yesterday, delivery delayed using Ground Advantage, not going to Canada. Anyone know why? I don't know. I didn't see that. Maybe you just had something that was delayed. I'm not sure. I didn't see that same notice. Maybe I missed it. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Next up, we got some eBay orders. So Poshmark is done. Mercari is done. We still have Amazon. We still have eBay. We got a lot of work to do, so don't go nowhere. Get yourself something to sip on, and let's hang out. As always, it's a great place to ask questions. I love answering them. And I got to print out all these freaking labels. I forgot about this. This is a mess. When I did the bulk eBay shipping, it gave me an error. So it bought all the labels. I spent my money, but it didn't bring me to the print screen. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go to the shipping label screen. Let's move this over here. That's better. I'm going to have to go to the shipping label screen, and I'm going to have to print each of these out individually, which is going to make me mad. But we're going to do it. Let's see. Download label. Usually I do this like all in bulk. So I'm going to have to be extra careful that I don't make any mistakes today. I am definitely annoyed. Okay, so first order is for Steven. I think I only bought some of them and not all of them. This is terribly annoying. It's going to be so hard to match these up. I'm going to have to like be super focused. Okay, first one is a FootJoy. Last thing I want to do is mix up a couple packages. FootJoy, this is a golf vest. This one had a little bit of wear on the inside collar. I noted that. I priced it down a little bit, accepted a best offer, $19.99. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store. It's going to Litchfield, New Hampshire. No way. Litchfield is a small town right next to Londonderry, New Hampshire, which is the town I grew up on, right on the Merrimack River, if you care. I don't often ship to Litchfield, New Hampshire. Not a big town. So this is going to Steven. Thank you, Steven. Huh. I used to ride my bike to Litchfield when I was a kiddo. All right. First one out the door. Next one's a great. These are going to be all out of order, aren't they? Wow. This is going to be a real pain. Not happy about this. All right. I'm going to have to be super careful. Download label. Now they're all, like all the labels are all out of order too. Ugh, this is gross. Okay. This is for Jeff. Okay. So Peter Millar, all over print. And now I'm not going to be able to see the prices from this screen. This really drives me crazy. So this sold for $31.99. Peter Millar, Summer Comfort, men's size medium, all over print. See that like fly fishing print? I always use the term AOP for all over print. Made a post about this over the weekend. And there we go right there. That's a country club logo. I don't know what the country club logo is. If I look it up and I can't figure it out within like 4 or 5 minutes, I just list it. And I say there's a country club logo with mountains on it on the chest. I don't invest a ton of time into researching it. If I can find it, I can find it. If I can't, I just list it anyway. And that's what happened here. Sold for $31.99. A lot of people tell me that Peter Millar doesn't sell for them. You've got to figure out, like any brand, what are the Peter Millar that sells really well? Peter Millar Summer Comfort with an all-over print sells really, really well. And I'm going to tell you how long that took to sell. It took 3 days to sell that shirt for a best offer of $31.99 in used condition. This is going to Jeff. People really look for those all-over prints. You know, golf has loosened up a lot. Golf used to be so like prim and proper and buttoned up. Now people want kind of like crazy prints, you know, like unique golf polos. That's what people are looking for nowadays. Peter Millar is a traditional brand, which people are kind of moving away from. They're moving to these hot young brands with big loud patterns. But Peter Millar picked up on some of that too. They got some big loud patterns, and people like those, and they buy them. Thank you to Jeff who bought that one. All right, next up is, this is such an annoying shipping process. Okay. Polo Ralph Lauren print label. If you're new to these lives, I typically print these all out in bulk, but eBay gave me an error, so now I have to print them off one by one. So this is going to, and I'm going to whine about it. This is going to Ala. This sold for $53.99. Brand new with tags, Polo Ralph Lauren. You can see the retail price is $110 right there. So bought this clearance. I think I paid $25 for these. It's got a little stripy pattern right there. Bought a whole bunch of these. By a whole bunch, I mean, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them maybe. So one listing, set the quantity to 5 or 6, whatever it was, and one round of photos, one round of measurements, and you just get over and over profit. I love these multi-quantity listings. Shipping label is going to cost me $5.51 on this one. It's going to Sugar Land, Texas. How about that? All right. These are all out of order. So this is a nightmare. It's getting brighter outside now. When you have an overcast day like this in the fall, it makes the foliage just looks nicer. You got better color contrast, great for photos. So we're having one of those kind of pretty fall days. Good morning. Nick Smith is in the house. What's up, brother? How are you? Hope you had a good weekend of sales. Hope you're on the pool. Is there a way in eBay research to search by sell-through rate instead of by item? I'm not sure. I don't use that eBay research tool. I just look at the last 90 days of sales. So maybe you can investigate that and get back to us. I just don't use that tool. If I knew, I would tell you. Canada Postal Strike is the issue in shipping to Canada. Gotcha. Not shipping to Canada. Last leg of delivery to Canada is done by Canada Post. Some as whatnot have disabled bidding and shipping to Canada. Gotcha. Stinks. Could be the strike. Okay. Which form do you use to write off expenses for tax return? I just started this year since I always run up your page. Big thanks. Joseph, I'm going to intentionally not answer anything that has to do with taxes and tax write-offs and forms and stuff like that. The reason is I don't give advice on that stuff. I'm not trained in that sort of thing. I just ask that same question to my CPA and I say, I give my CPA all the numbers and I say, what should I do? So for me to give advice on that, I just don't know. I ask somebody. So I would encourage you to have a tax professional that you can bounce some questions off of, somebody that can be on your team that can help with that stuff. I just don't know. I ask. I have a pro that I ask, and I suggest that everybody has somebody either formally or informally on your team that you can reach out to and ask questions about stuff like that. I just don't know. Average weekend of sales, pool is getting a bit cool. Cool maybe by your standards. It's probably warm by ours. Looking for any Laura Piana size medium. I don't think I have anything in stock, Zakaria, but thank you for the question. All right, next up is Rag and Bone Miramar. This is a great sale, $76.50 on a nifty best offer. Let me download this label, print this label. Nick Smith, I'm struggling here. Printing each one by one. They're all out of order. Nick Smith, I'm not happy. All right, Marie got this one. I just got to be really careful that I don't get these mixed up because they're all out of order. Where are those Miramars? Here they are. I usually have everything laid out nicely in order. All my eBay shipping labels are in order. All my thank you notes are in order. But because of this error with eBay printing off the labels, everything is out of order. Everything is in order, but the eBay shipping is out of order. Rag and Bone Miramar jeans. So these are the ones that they're not actually jeans. They're made to look like jeans. The stitching, the pockets, all that stuff is just a graphic. This is a lightweight cotton jogger pant for women. Awesome. Rag and Bone. Awesome. The last pair I sold was for $80. These ones sold on a nifty best offer, $76.50. Just a freaking awesome sale. I paid $5 for these. I found these off. You probably saw the video I did about this. I found these on a fresh rack at the thrift store. The vintage T-shirt bros came over from the bins, right? And they come into the racks and they only check the fresh racks that they roll out. And they come in every 10 minutes on a cycle and they rip through those fresh racks and they look for T-shirts and then they run away. And they ripped right through us. 2 of them went right past these jeans and didn't even look at them. $76.50. When I made a video about it, the vintage T-shirt bros came to their own defense and they said, we don't want that. Why would we want that crap? We only do vintage. We're not. I'm like, you don't do money? Why would you, if you're listing stuff online that's vintage, it's the same process to list something online that's new, that's modern, but they just don't why would you not buy something that you would buy for $5 and sell for $76.50? But they came to the defense of themselves. They're insulted me. They're like, why would we want that? I don't know, because it probably would have been their best find of the entire day. And their defense is it's not old, so we don't sell it. That's crazy to me. Just list it online. A lot of people also came to the defense of like vintage clothing. They're like, the stuff they make nowadays is all junk. We don't want to sell like junky new stuff. I'm like, okay, it's a weird hill to die on, but I'm just gonna sit over here and keep making money. I don't know what y'all's goal is. Like, I know it won't look cool on your Depop page or something. Like, you know, what are people gonna make fun of you because that's on your Depop page? It's gonna be modern. Get out of here. Sell stuff. Make money. Who are these people? Like this idea that you're like uppity, like I'm too good to sell modern. Get out of here. You know, the real reason they didn't pick them up, they had no idea that those are worth money. They didn't know what they were looking at. And they use that as an excuse not to expand their knowledge. Next up is another great sale. I found these at that same thrift store. This sold really, really fast. I got to print out the label first. So this is going to Woodrow. This sold on a best offer $49. I paid $5 at the thrift store. This was on the floor at the thrift store. Rafa. This is the hottest cycling brand in the land right now. You can see that cursive script, Rafa, right now. When I first found these, I was like, is this like a Rafael Nadal like tennis thing? Because, you know, it's like lightweight moisture wicking. But once I learned the brand, this is the second time I found it, Rafa. This one sold really quickly, $49 plus $6.95 shipping. Let's see how quickly this sold for. I priced it up too to try to get like top dollar, but sold in 11 days. But I had this priced at like $59.99. I might have had it priced at $69.99 too, just trying to see if I can get like a really good price. But $49 is a good price for this. It's a cycling jersey right here. A lot of cycling jerseys from kind of the more popular brands like Pearl Izumi and stuff like that, they're going to sell for like 15 or 20 bucks, like a short sleeve jersey like this. This one, 49, because it's the hot brand right now. Excuse me. If you're a vintage t-shirt bro and you're in the chat and you're offended, I'm sorry. How can you tell how long it's been listed? I have a spreadsheet. I have that same spreadsheet linked if you go to chris@peak.com or you go to my listing of all my recommended tools and supplies that I use for the business. I have that spreadsheet linked. It's from Jason Hayes. It's called the Reseller spreadsheet. This is the third year I've been using it. And there's actually a discount code. If you use my code, I think it's like Chris25. You'll see it if you go to the link down there. It gives you a discount code. So you can check it out if you want to have like a spreadsheet to stay really organized for when it's tax season. With all your numbers and all that stuff, that's what I'm looking at right here is that spreadsheet. It's like my dashboard for everything. It keeps track of all my sales, my expenses, my mileage, all that stuff. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. Again, my third year using it, and actually it's my good friend Jason Hayes who makes this spreadsheet. He's the guy who first got me into reselling. So, but check it out. He has videos. If you go to the listing, if you go to that link down below in the chat and you click on the spreadsheet, you'll see that he's got in his listing for it on Etsy. He's got YouTube videos. So it walks you through exactly what the spreadsheet does do and doesn't do and all that stuff. And you can make a good informed decision. And if you use that discount code, you'll get 10% off too. It pays to pick up items on the floor. Yeah. I mean, it was literally on the floor. I almost went by it, but I have like a rule in my head. I'm like, nope, don't ignore things on the floor because there's got to be something that's really good. And it's very rarely anything ever really good. Anytime I pick something off the floor, it's something stupid like Dockers or something. And I'm like, why did I just pick up this dirty thing off the floor? But this time it actually worked. It rarely works, but for a $50 one, I'll keep doing it. How can you, I already got that one. Hit the nail on the head. No idea it would be profitable. Exactly. How do you keep track of cost of goods and profit when does Nifty? Yes, Nifty does. Nifty has that all built in. You can enter your cost of goods when you list items, and then it will pull those numbers from the platforms in terms of like it'll pull the fees and all that stuff and your shipping label costs and all that. It will do all that stuff automatically for you. Another sourcing opportunity is go to golf courses or country clubs and ask to buy their merch like polos and pants that they discontinued. Interesting. Have you tried that? I've never tried that before. I'd be curious if that worked. Maybe they only sell what they would wear. Yeah, but that's silly. If I only sold what I would wear, Ashley, like I wouldn't wear like most of this stuff. It's not all my style. I'm just here to try to make money. I'm not here to it's not a fashion statement. It's a business. Nifty will show item on eBay and Poshmark, but when I look at eBay, it's delisted and still looks listed in my Nifty inventory. What's that all about? So NRC, it would be really difficult for me to troubleshoot that as much as I want to troubleshoot that right now. Without like looking at your account and seeing what's happening, it would be like impossible for me to troubleshoot it. I wish I could. The best thing for you to do is to message Nifty. There's a help button. I got my Nifty up right here. I think it's support. Give me a second here. Bottom on your left-hand side of the screen, there's a support button. Boom. Open yourself a support ticket. It's got to open an email between you and Nifty. Reply to that email and give them all that information that you just gave me, but give them more information. Show them the exact listings that you found that were delisted and ask them what's going on. They'll be able to look under the hood, right? It's their platform. So they'll be able to tell you exactly if there's something funny going on. They'll be able to tell you why and how to fix it. I won't be able to do it, unfortunately, because I can't like dig into your account and look. I would love to, but I can't. They don't give me access to that kind of stuff, but they'll help you out. The support is awesome. When I have little issues like that and I can't figure it out, I just reach out to them. They get back to me quickly, and it's usually something nice and quick, like a mistake I made typically, and they'll be able to help you out. From Abbeville, South Carolina, thought about you, Western North Carolina. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the positive vibes. It was a very, very difficult week. I mean, I'll speak for everybody in Western North Carolina. There was nobody in Western North Carolina this past week and this weekend who just didn't feel the feels. There's a lot going on. The anniversary was certainly there was a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend, like people celebrating, celebrating the resilience of the community, the rebuilding and all that stuff. And it was really cool. But at the same time, like all that stuff was bittersweet. It was a whole, everyone's like a glass case of emotions. We're excited for the rebuilds and we're excited for, what people have overcome. But at the same time, we're mourning the loss of, more than 100 people in Western North Carolina. I mean, hundreds of businesses have closed and won't reopen. Others are still struggling to get back on their feet with their business. People's homes, some of them are back into their homes, but they're not 100%. There's still thousands of people in Western North Carolina that aren't back into their homes. One of my neighbors, Hope, reached out to me via text yesterday, and said that she's still not back in her home. She's that way. As the crow flies, her house is probably a quarter mile, maybe a half mile from me. As the crow flies, I kind of have to drive around to her house. It's like a mile to get there, but as the crow flies, it's probably maybe a half mile, a third of a mile. And she's still not back in her home because Hoopers Creek, flooded out her home a year ago. There's just a lot of emotions. There was so many events like commemorating it this weekend and stuff. And I got so many texts from local people just about, how emotional this past week is. So I appreciate you recognizing that. It is it's a big deal up here. And I appreciate your thoughts. I really do. What did I miss? Foliage is starting to really pop up here in New Hampshire. It's been 80s the last few days. I heard y'all had some like warm weather up there. And we got the Red Sox in the playoffs. That's good news, right, Nate? I don't know if you're a Red Sox fan. I assume everybody up there is. Someone explains sell-through rate to me this way. 500 items active, 10 sold is not something you want to deal with. Correct, Gino. That would be a really low sell-through rate. That would be like a 2% sell-through rate. Is that right? Am I doing the math right? That would be a really low sell-through rate. You wouldn't want to probably sell that item unless you could be the lowest price on the market and still make profit, and you could be the first sale. There's something to be said for that. So use sell-through rate as a guide, not as your boss, is what I like to say. If everyone's selling that item for $100 and it's a really low sell-through rate, and you're like, well, shoot, I can price it for 80. I only paid $5 for it. Then to me, that would still be an item that you'd want to sell. So you got to take that into account too. You're welcome, NRC. I wish I could be more helpful, but really the people from Nifty are going to be a lot more helpful than I am. Do you know anyone who has done a YouTube video on how to set up your store? Which store, Carrie, are you talking about when you're asking that question? What information are you specifically looking for? Do you have some kind of insurance if an accident happens to home or your business? You can get insurance for that sort of thing if you want. I don't pay for it, but yeah, you can insure anything. You can go through, if you rent, you can go through your renter's insurance. If you are a homeowner, you can go through your homeowner's insurance. Just talk to your local agent and they can walk you through it and they'll give you pricing and stuff for it. Helene might be a year ago, but for many, it's like yesterday. There's so many. Yes, correct, Edward. In some ways it feels like Helene was like 5 years ago because so much has happened, right? Like there's just been so much change. But in other ways, it feels like it was a couple weeks ago. It's kind of really strange how time can be weird like that. What do you think about buyers asking for their money back to fix the item and refuse to send the item to seller. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I guess I would need like a more specific case. I'm not really, it's a little bit, it's just a vague question. I'm not really sure exactly how to answer that. It pays to pick up items on the floor. Yep. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. Approximately how many items do you sell on average per month? How do you find? Typically, I'll sell like 300 to 350 items on the busy months. And then the slow months, like the summer that we're coming out of, I sell around like 250, 275. February is also a slow month. But the good months, September, October, November, December, January, and then, March, April, May, those are typically like 300 to 350 items a month. I want to get to a basic store, but need to come up with name and set up the store name, username, banner. Yeah. Oh, is there a video about how to set up? I'm not sure. I would just look it up. You might be overthinking it, Carrie. Just go in and choose a name that vibes with you and find a cool little background. And I wouldn't overthink it too much. That's more vanity stuff than it is anything else. It's not like make or break stuff. Just have fun with it is what I would suggest, but don't overthink it. Okay. Let's do some more shipping. Appreciate all the questions and comments and all that stuff. Have you had your coffee this morning? You are on fire. I have, but I only had one. I really need another one, to be honest with you. I appreciate that, Ashley. Let's get back to eBay sales. I'm just avoiding it because it's frustrating because I have to print out all these labels one by one. And I'm just so nervous I'm going to mess something up because of the way this is going. But is that John? Doesn't matter. Next up is Rafa. Okay. Eton. I don't know how to say this brand. Eton. I'm not sure. I know how to spell it. E-T-O-N. So this is like a men's formal wear brand. They have a lot of like dress shirts. That's kind of what they're known for. This one right here is a polo shirt. Polo shirts have a better sell-through rate on this brand than do the dress shirts. Eton. This is a men's size 2 extra large. It's a linen cotton blend polo shirt with a nice little stripe on it. Sold for a best offer. This is a nifty best offer, $24.30. So the buyer on eBay, whose name is Todd, they came and liked this or watched this item on eBay. And 10 minutes later, Nifty, my cross lister, automatically sent a 10% off offer to Todd. And Todd accepted that offer. Done deal. This happens every day, some days several times a day, where I get these sales. In e-commerce, they would call that an abandoned cart, when somebody shows interest in an item, but they don't actually check out and close the deal. It's called an abandoned cart. In e-commerce, companies spend a lot of money to fight back against abandoned carts. They don't want them abandoned. They want them full, and they want people to check out. So Nifty is a solution for that for folks who sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. Does the same thing. It notices that, hey, this person was interested in this item, but they haven't cashed out. It's been 10 minutes. Let's send them a 10% off offer and try to close the deal. Now, you can set it up on Nifty so it's 7% off or 5% off or 12% off or 15 or 20% off, whatever you do. I do 10% off. It's arbitrary, but that's how I do my pricing. I leave a 10% wiggle room. And every single day that gets me extra sales. It fixes or saves abandoned carts. And I am a big fan of it. I paid $5 for that shirt, that Eton shirt. It sold for $24.30. Next up, Cool. These are all out of order and it's annoying. All right. This is for Galen. Print, download label, print label. Have you had coffee this morning? Oh, I see what's happening. Ashley, I sent you an automated message. I have a post up about coffee. And I think my automated tool for social media is picking up on your coffee thing. I just sent you a message about how you can find and purchase our coffee if you're interested. You don't have to. That's just it's just picking up on that word coffee. I didn't realize it was going to do it on this live, but it did. So sorry if that's bothersome. You're welcome if you're interested in coffee, though. We got a couple of coffee sales that we're going to ship out today, too. I'm excited about that. I do need another coffee. Maybe not need, but I would like one. I would enjoy one. Next up is a pair of Levi's. I'm going to have to give you an update here on the Levi's thing. On how many I've sold in my 90-day challenge. My goal is to sell 90 Levi's in 90 days. This one sold 44 by 30, and they're 505s. If I get through this whole live without screwing up one of these labels, it is going to be a miracle, but we're going to do it. My neighbor Tony going by. I met so many people as a result of that storm, which is a blessing. So these are the 505 44 by 30s. Right here. Levi's 505 44 by 30. These sold for $19.99 on a best offer. And these are going to Jackson, Minnesota. Jackson, Minnesota for Jason. Thank you, Jason. Nah, I love the coffee. Appreciate that, Ashley. Yeah, I have like an automation tool that I just, I'm in a 7-day free trial for it. It's called ManyChat. I'm trying to use it to automate some things with my responding to social media posts. Sometimes I'll get comments, like I'll get one post, I can get a couple hundred comments. I had one this weekend that was like that. So it's nice to have an automation tool that can respond to a lot of those. Like when somebody comments nifty down below, like I can, instead of me just going and replying to each one of those things, which takes forever sometimes, I can have an automation tool that takes care of some of that. I'm still going to communicate with like questions and conversations, right? But it's nice to have like certain responses automated because I'll get the same. Yeah, I'll just have to like copy and paste responses over and over, and it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. So I'm trying it out, see if it works. I'm going to download this label. I got an Orvis sale right here. This is a good one. I just picked this up last month. This is going to Ty. Thank you, Ty. There it is. So check it out. It's a Sherpa line, like a sweater jacket. It's like a quarter zip with a mock neck, and look at that Sherpa lining right there. So Orvis. Typically, these sell in like the $25 to $30 range. You can actually get low 30s for this too. I took a best offer $24 on this. I'm happy with it. I paid $5. Get it gone nice and quickly. This is going to Alaska, y'all. I don't ship many items to Alaska. Of course, I had to ship this like big heavy thing. It's going to cost me $10.80. Whatever. The buyer paid $9.95 shipping, so it's going to cost me 85 cents to ship it to them. That's okay. I make $1 on some. I lose $1 on some on shipping. But it's going all the way to Alaska. Pretty cool. It's going to Wasilla, Alaska. I don't know where that is. But it's freaking far away. And this big old thing is going to ship for $10.80. My guess is it'll take a little while to get there, but I don't know. I don't ship too much to Alaska. I've had a couple sales recently to Hawaii on Poshmark, and they've taken a long time. Hopefully this one doesn't take so long. At the year end, can I print off Nifty year end showing profit fees, etc.? I think so, Donna. Do you have Nifty already? I think you already do. If you go into the, I've never done it because I use my spreadsheet to track all my sales, because I make sales from Amazon, from chris@peak.com too, and from social media, stuff that Nifty doesn't track. So I have to have another way to track all my stuff, because I have income streams coming from all other places that aren't reselling. So therefore I don't use Nifty's analytics to help me with tax season. But if you go to the analytics tool, yeah, it looks like it has a built-in profit and loss statement. Yeah, it looks like you could do that. But again, I haven't done it, so you'll have to tinker with it. yeah, just go to the analytics thing and you can see all the stuff it does: expenses, insights, profit and loss. And you can tinker around with it and see if it's going to work for your tax stuff. When I don't know, I'm happy to say I don't know. I use a different tool. I use Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet to track all my other business stuff too. So even though Orbis is good, it's like Bean. Yeah, Orbis is like any nice newer Orbis. Well done. Thank you, sir. Like any brand, right? There's some stuff that sells great. There's some stuff that sells okay. And then there's some stuff that sells slowly. And you just got to learn all that stuff. How do you do your blue thank you stickers? I make those on an app called Photo Room, which is what I make all my social media posts with. That's how I remove the background on all my listings for eBay too. It's called Photo Room. There's a free version. I have the paid version, which is the pro version, because I use it for all my like social media post editing. So big fan of Photo Room. I've been using Photo Room since 2021. What's that? 4 years, over 4 years now. Do you sell different items on Amazon, or do you sell the thing? All different items. My Amazon store is 100% separate from my eBay store. I don't have anything that's cross-listed between the two platforms. The types of things that sell on Amazon tend to be very different than the types of things that sell well on eBay and Poshmark. It doesn't make sense, but when you dig into a little bit, you'll sort of get it. But yes, totally separate. Two separate inventories for sure. I focus on vintage Orbis mostly. Gotcha. I got a vintage Orbis last week, by the way, like a hunting shirt with the, a shooting shirt with the pad on the chest, made in Hong Kong. I think I made a video about it. I have Photo Room and the paid version. Nice. That's what I use to make the blue stickers, I think is what you're asking about, right? Let's see. Next up. Trying to stay organized here. Next up. Cool. Levi's, Orbis. Okay, I think this is where it stopped. This is where the error happened, and I no longer have any more shipping labels. So the next ones I need to go print out. So let's try that. So it looks like it bought like half of the shipping labels, or a third of them. Sold 2 things during this live, if anyone cares. I'm just going to need a minute to focus on this just to see. So it didn't buy all these shipping labels. It errored out in the middle. So now I have to reweigh all these items. Oh, that's super awesome. But I actually know the weights of most of these. Let's see how much that one weighs. So it errored out in the middle of my bulk shipping thing, and it bought some of the labels, but not all of them, is what I'm gathering. So that's 12 ounces, 115, 115, 115. Okay, I think I got them all. Yep. I'm just going to weigh this one. 8 ounces. Sweet. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully it works this time. I just sold Orbis corduroy brown pants. Nice. I'm about to ship a pair of corduroy pants. Not Orbis, though. I eyeball the weight mostly, and so far I have not run into trouble with USPS. Nice. The labels are cursed this morning. We'll see if this one worked. I hope it did. Print labels. Come on, baby. Okay. Looks like the rest of them are going to print. I'm going to have to double check and make sure it didn't like double purchase anyone. Who did I miss that came in? Julia's in the house. What's up, Julia? Bringing the energy, too. Bringing the all caps energy. I like that. What do we got? Mitch is in the house. What's up, Mitch? First time catching you live. Well, appreciate you being here. Let me know if you have any questions. And I want to hear about what you sold this weekend. If you sold anything, Mitch, or if you found some cool stuff, I want to hear about that too. Thanks for being here. All right, let's get reorganized here. So we still have a lot of shipping to do. I would say we're about halfway done. eBay shipping, Poshmark's done, Mercari's done. I still got to do Amazon, and I still got to ship from chris@peak.com. All right, still got a lot of work to do. This is going to be a little bit quicker now, because now everything in theory, should be mostly in order now. All right, well, maybe not. Yeah, let's go here. Cool. Got an Untuck It shirt, brand new with tags. Brand new in the plastic, sold for $36. men's size extra large. That was on a nifty best offer. This is going to Craig. Thank you, Craig. I have a feeling I'm going to get into a nice little groove now that we got past the shipping label crisis. Let's get into a little groove state. I wish I could play music on these lives. You can't. I would end up getting like a copyright strike. But if I could have some music, I could get into a nice groove here. Maybe if Nick Smith would hum me a tune or something. Or if Nick Smith could beatbox it over there. All right, so Craig got himself an Untuck It. Really nice looking Untuck It shirt. Nice plaid pattern right here. This is going to Maynard, Massachusetts. Next up is a Polo Ralph Lauren. This is used, sold for $18.99. I feel like that's a nice colorway. Men's size extra large on that. I paid $5. Sold for $18.99 plus $6.95 shipping. After fees, this will be like a $12 profit on this piece right here. The shipping label cost me $4.69, so I'll make $2 off the shipping label. This is going to Kimberly. Kimberly's in Ocala, Florida. I know Ocala. Love to see you at it. How are you, Julie? I'm doing great. Appreciate you bringing the positive vibes today. I am for it. What do we got here? Had my first big weekend, 500 in sales, 23 items shipped out today. Let's go, Travis. Let's hear it for Travis. Send Travis some positive vibes for a big, big weekend. I'm looking forward to hearing about more of y'all's big weekends coming up, because guess what? It's going to be October in a couple of days. And you know what that means? People are buying their fall and winter items. Jackets are going to start heating up. Flannels, corduroys, jeans, all that stuff's going to start flying off the shelves. And people are going to start holiday shopping, right? And you're just getting into like money spending season where people get, the summertime, people spend their money year round, right? But in the summertime, people are like really like they're stretched out. They're ready to spend money on experiences, on traveling and stuff like that. This is where they're kind of finally limbering up and they're getting ready to buy things and stuff this time of year. So thanks for sending some positive vibes to Travis. Appreciate that, Julia. Can you play instrumental guitar without copy? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could do that. Well, you could probably do that. I can't play no guitar. I do not have musical talent. Hey, Chris, I'm late, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think the best AI software solution for listing is out there right now? Bros, appreciate that question. I'm going to drop a link to what I think is the best tool, and that's for Nifty. So what I like about this tool, I like a lot about this tool, but what I like about Nifty is it's everything you need. So not only is it an AI lister, and we do use the AI lister, we've been using it for about 4 months now, but it cross lists at the same time. So you can create your AI listing and it will develop your item title and your description for you. But it will also cross list onto multiple platforms. So we have ours list onto eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, but you can also list to Depop and Etsy too, all at once, right? It also does automation for you too. So it sends offers to people constantly. It's sharing your items on Poshmark, and it's delisting stale items and relisting them on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. So you basically it's one tool, and you get an AI lister, you get a cross lister, and you get the automation tools all built into one. So to me, that's why I think it's hands down the best for AI listing, because you got one subscription every month to do all the things that you need to have a really successful business. So if you click this link there in the chat, you'll get a free trial. So you can check it out for 7 days, see how you like it. And then if you do, you'll get 15% off your first month if you sign up for it. So all you got to do is click on that link right there. It's down below in the chat. If you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see that link, but all you got to do is tap on my name, go to my profile. You'll find that same Nifty link. And if you, again, don't take my word for it, try it for 7 days, see if it works for your business, see if it vibes with you. And if it does, you'll get 15% off that first month. All you got to do is click that link. And again, the link is always in my profile. It's always at chris@peak.com. I'm a big fan of Nifty. I talk about it every day. And there's a reason I talk about it every day, because I really like it. It helps me get extra sales every single day, and it speeds up my listing process. I would we got some fans of Nifty in the room. Julia's a fan. Nick's a fan. There you go. So it's not just me. Typically when people sign up through our link I would say probably 90% of the people who sign up through our link and do the free trial, I'd say about 90% of those people actually then decide to pay and get Nifty. So if that tells you something, people are trying it and they're liking it. It does not do Facebook Marketplace now too. Go Red Sox. Go Sox. I keep pausing, so I'm behind in the live. No worries, Nate. Go Sox is right. We'll see. We got Crochet going tomorrow on the mound. So if you can get game 1 with Crochet, then all you got to do is win one of the other 2 games in Yankee Stadium, and we can move on. Tough playing all 3 games on the road for the wild card. That's interesting, but especially in Yankee Stadium. But at least it's not the old Yankee Stadium. That place used to get louder. It unfortunately does not do Facebook. Okay, cool. You guys are communicating. I like it. I know, was just wondering if that was still your favorite. Yep, definitely my favorite for sure. It's truly legendary. Look at that from Julia. Legendary. I like it. Go Mariners. Do they still have a team up there? What is it? First time in 23 years they've made the playoffs. I used your link and now I'm hooked. Ashley's hooked. Got her hooked. You just lost and forget. Just finished 7-day trial and signed on. Trial limits to 79 listings, by the way. Yeah, it's supposed to be a free trial so you can check it out. It's not supposed to be cross-list your whole darn store. So people have like hit me up about that. They're like, oh man, my trial ended soon. It won't let me keep the trial going unless I pay. It's like, well, yeah, they don't want you to cross-list 700 items in your 7-day free trial. That wouldn't be a good business model. Of course, they have to they have to limit it a little bit. Thank you, Affluent. I think that's a compliment. I'm not sure. He's a lot younger than me. What's the best category to buy this winter? Winter clothes? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. It's Morgan. I would buy high sell-through rate items that sell for a lot of money, and I would buy those things. I don't know. I would probably need a more specific question maybe to help there. We made the playoffs in 2022, first time since 2001 when we won the West. Oh, I had my numbers wrong. I thought somebody made it for the first time this year. Wasn't it the Mariners? Maybe it's another team. I had it mixed up. I just know that the Mariners have sucked for a really long time. Unless you go all the way back to like the Ken Griffey years, right? A-Rod and the Martinez fellow there, Edgar Martinez. That's a long time ago. But they got that catcher. That catcher is good. Rowley, is that his name? Man, that kid. Did he hit 60 home runs? I think he hit 60 home runs. Next up is an order for Todd. Get this baseball talk going. People are like, what are you talking about? Polo Ralph Lauren. This is the Hampton Relax Straight. I just picked these up. This is a quick sale. Let's take a look at how long these took to sell. Polo Ralph Lauren Hampton. These took 13 days to sell, so just under 2 weeks. Reseller Rex is in the house, and these sold for full asking price $28.99. I paid $5 at the thrift store. So eBay's got to keep about, they're going to keep like $4, $4.50 from this sale. So that's going to leave me with like $24. And so I'm going to make $19, $20 on this. The shipping label cost me $6.07. I charged $8.95. So I'm making another $3 on the shipping label. So I'm going to make like $22 to $23 profit on this one pair of jeans right here. Polo Ralph Lauren. This time of year, those are going to sell really, really well. I price them usually in the upper 20s. You can get over 30 for them, but if you want them to sell quick, I price those at $28.99 to get them to move quick. The black ones typically sell a little bit faster for me, and that was the case with those ones. Next up is a Peter Millar. So what did I miss here? Cal Rally 60. That's crazy. As a switch hitter, right? Isn't that nasty? I went to my local Sierra store, sister to TJ Maxx, and surprisingly, they have been getting lots of Fall Raven, Smartwool, and other brands that are carried in RAI. Nice. I like me some Sierra. The closest Sierra to me is about an hour and 15 minutes, and it's kind of a pain of a drive to get there. It's south of Greenville, and there's like really no quick way to get from like Asheville to south of Greenville. You have to like go right through Greenville essentially. So it's kind of a pain in the butt drive. But yes, I'm a fan of Sierra for sure. You're listing books right now, but cool. Reseller Rex, I hope you sell a bunch of books today. Got a bunch listed. Hopefully you get some quick sales over there. Thanks for watching and having me in the background. Any specific brands you are looking for? It's more That's a really difficult question, just to ask, like, what specific brands do you look for? I look for literally hundreds of different brands, but I don't just blanket buy most brands. There's certain things from certain brands to look for. So you're asking really good questions, don't get me wrong, but those are just really difficult things to answer in like a soundbite, because I'm looking for hundreds of brands. So maybe some of the brands that you can look for are the things that we're shipping out today. I guess that would be good advice. We're shipping out 30 something items. And I'm showing you exactly what sold. I'm telling you how long they took to sell, how much I paid for those items, and about how much profit we'll make out of each item. So I'd say that would be a good place to start. That's what this live stream is. Unfortunately, we won't be able to answer that in a soundbite. It'll be like, hey, watch the stream. And you can rewatch the stream on YouTube or Facebook. If you're just jumping in now, these are all recorded on YouTube and Facebook. So if you follow us, the same name, Chris at Peak on what did I say? Facebook or YouTube. What was I saying? Facebook or YouTube. Just follow us on those, and you can rewatch any of these, and you can see all the stuff. We do it every Monday, and I do reels every single day. I do 4 photo posts every single day. So just check out the account. We have your question answered. It's just a bigger answer than what I can give you in a paragraph. So it's literally the whole account is like what to look for and all that stuff and how much items sell for. So enjoy the account. I don't know that I'll be able to give you a sentence to answer that question. Peter Millar corduroy pants right here. Yeah, like Morgan just wants me to say, forget the whole channel, dude. Just tell me what to buy right now in a sentence. I'm just giving you a hard time, but that's literally the whole channel. Every single day we put up content about that. So I wouldn't be able to answer the whole channel in essentially a paragraph, right? I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying that's what this channel is. So this is the Peter Millar Superior Soft Corduroy 5-pocket pant, men's size 36 by 34. With Peter Millar, it's one of those brands that always has a style number. If you look on the inside materials tag, there's going to be a tag right next to the materials tag that has a style number. All I do is Google Peter Millar and I enter that style number, and it tells me what the style name is. And in this case, it's the Superior Soft Corduroy 5-pocket pant. I put that in the item title so that somebody who's looking for a brand new pair that will probably cost $120, they can also on Google find me or my listing on eBay for this item at $28.99. This buyer paid full asking price, no haggling, because that's a good price. If they were looking for that same pair of pants for $120 on Google or Amazon or wherever the heck. So that's my process for, not every brand is going to give you a nice, neat and clean style number to look up, but Peter Millar does. And I always put that in my item title because that's what somebody who's going to pay the new price is looking for. That's the type of buyer that I want. Out the door, $28.99. I paid $5 at a thrift store for that. I actually bought like 4 or 5 Peter Millar's pants all at the same thrift store that same day. I think that's the last pair to sell. Some good advice would be to put a buy list together in your niche and then make sure to put your purchase price and sell price so you can check back. Yeah, I like it, Travis. Good stuff. I like it. I'll tell you what to look for in 2 words: quality and condition. There you go. How do you feel about boiled peanuts? I like regular peanuts better than boiled peanuts, to be honest with you. I'd rather you not boil them. Just give them to me. I will crack them and I will eat them. How many hours do you source weekly? I'm not sure, like 2 to 3 days a week. I don't know how many hours that works out to be. I don't really clock in or clock out. Hope that helps. I love how you rep all the pearl snap button shirts. I literally had no clue about them until I started watching you. That's kind of my thing. It's been my thing for a little bit now. I think since I moved out to Colorado, I kind of got into the pearl snappies. You'll start noticing patterns and trends. I like it, Travis. Next up is an order for Jason. Jason got another pair of Levi's. These are the 502. I am going to give you an update on the 90 Levi's in 90 days. I just got to do a count and see where I'm at. I lost count. So these are 502 Levi's, size 34 by 34. Sold for a best offer $19.99. These are going to Central City, Kentucky. If you care. Thank you, Jason. So we've got a pair of 505s going out and now a pair of 502s. I think the other ones are 541s. Jason, here we go. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining the live, I'd say thank you. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Great place to ask questions. I do this every Monday, 11 a.m.-ish Eastern. Give you a good, honest glimpse into my business. I ship out all my orders from the weekend. We talk about exactly what sold, exactly how much I paid for it, how long these items took to sell, what my profit will be after fees and all that stuff. My profit on this one will be about probably about 20, let me think, about $22 or $23 profit on this one right here, Peter Millar pants. And how long did they sell for? I try to keep up that promise of giving you all that information. These ones took 135 days to sell. I picked them up May 15th. Now, this is an example, a big example of how seasonality really matters when you're selling. People in the summertime aren't really buying corduroy pants. So I picked up like 5 pairs of Peter Millar pants at the same thrift store. They were all the same size, donated by the same person. The other 4 sold really quickly, right? Because they were all like moisture wicking, sort of golf athletic, like athleisure style pants. People buy those in the summertime. They don't really buy corduroys. Corduroys like a fall winter thing. So those 4 sold quickly. This one sat around for 4 months. 4 months? Yeah, 4.5 months to sell on this one, 135 days. But I'm fine with that, right? When you buy stuff that's off season, you sort of know that it's very likely that I'm going to have to wait until September for those to sell. And they did. They sold on September 27th over the weekend, if you care. So Peter Millar is a great brand. I find that the pants tend to sell better than the shirts, but there's all sorts of little details and nuances that go into that. And seasonality is one of those things. Next up is a pair of, where did I leave off here? Another pair of Levi's, 541s, 36 by 34. Sorry, I thought I had those confused. 541. So these are the athletic fit. These also are all seasons tech. It says it on the inside. I just use that as a keyword. If it says it on the pant, this one said it, so we used it. Do I think that helped this pant sell? I'm not sure. So these sold for a nifty best offer, $18.81. So the buyer, Alan, watched this item on eBay. 10 minutes later, my cross-lister Nifty sent a 10% off offer to close the deal. You can choose to have Nifty send whatever offer you want. I just have it programmed to send 10% off 10 minutes after they watch the item. Close that deal. What's up, Rish? What's up, Rish? What is up? What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Welcome in, y'all. Love hearing about your sales too, so don't be shy. If you have questions, I want to hear them. That's what this live is all about. The live is not for me to brag. It's not for me to, I don't know, what else I would be doing. It's just to teach. It's just to share. It's just to inspire. It's just to help. That's why we've been doing these lives for years now. Been creating this content for over 5 years on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, and on Instagram, just to help you grow. And it's also a place where other resellers can come and hang. Look, I get you. Not a lot of people understand your business. Not a lot of people only 17% of American adults own a business. So not a lot of people know what it's like to be a business owner. And certainly not a lot of people know what it's like to be a reseller. So it's a great place to come and hang out and just chat with people who get you. I get you. Or at least I get your reselling business. Next up is a really big sale right here. $129.99, which is my full asking price. I picked up like 4 or 5 of these. I think I have 1 left. I picked them up on clearance late spring, and this one sold now in the fall. It's a jacket. This is called the Buy Swing, or a Harrington jacket from Polo Ralph Lauren. We can see the retail price is $168. So I sold it for $129.99, plus the buyer paid $9.95 shipping. So they're all in for $140 plus taxes. I paid $60 for this jacket. So my profit on this, after the eBay fees, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to tell you exactly what my profit is. How about that? I'll look on the order details and tell you. So after eBay took their $16.28 worth of fees, and I paid for the $6.45 shipping label, that leaves me with $116.21. I paid $60 for this. So that means I made $56.21 on this. Tell me down below in the chat, would you spend $60 to make $56.21 of profit? Would you do that? Would you spend 60 to make 52 on one item? There's no right answer. Everybody's business is a little bit different. Just kind of curious what your thoughts are. Rish, I don't have any Carhartt jackets for you. Thanks for stopping in, though. I don't have any for you. Doesn't matter how many times you say it in the chat, I'm still not going to have a Carhartt jacket for you. Sorry, or not sorry, I don't know. First time watcher Aram, what's up? How are you? Appreciate you being here. Welcome in. There's like 3 to 4 of you who do this every Monday. It's pretty cool. I think so too. I watched some of those as well. So my first row back today, nice. N. Peter Millar, Golden Goat last week. Wow, look at you, Ted. Love it. Thanks for coming back, Ted. Always good to see you. Do you wash your clothes before selling and shipping? Where do you think your best places for sourcing are? Susan, I do when they need to be washed. Like if they are dirty or they have smells to them, I will wash them. Otherwise, I do not. My best sourcing, I don't know. I go to thrift stores more often than anything else, but I also do retail arbitrage. I do online arbitrage. And sometimes I haven't done it as much for lately, but we'll do garage sales and estate sales and that sort of stuff too. I have some Carhartt jackets. There you go, Nick Smith. You can go talk to him on IG. I wouldn't. Do you use USPS to ship jeans? The priority envelope, will it work? I do use USPS to ship jeans. I don't use the priority envelope because if I use the priority envelope, I have to use priority shipping. And it's cheaper to ship Ground Advantage. So I ship Ground Advantage and I don't use the priority envelope, if that's what you're asking. I'm now low on inventory money to buy, but I want too much money to. Yep, I get it. There's no right way to do it. It's a little different. Like Travis, been full time with this for almost 5 years, and I've been doing this for over 7 years, right? So I built up sort of, a bank account that can tolerate that sort of thing. But I wouldn't have done that, in my first year, probably. I don't think. Maybe. No, I don't think so. I don't think I would have spent that much I think that's something that I would have been a little bit gun shy to do. Next up is this is an online arbitrage pickup. And it's a pair of Solomon boots, brand new in the box. Let me grab them here. I think this is them right here. Women's size 6.5. Yep. So these are going through eBay's authenticity guarantee. I don't know why eBay's authenticating Solomon Gore-Tex boots. I don't think there's ever been a pair of these fake ever been made, but these are going to authenticity guarantee, which means I'm shipping these to Moonachie, New Jersey. This is where eBay does their authentication, one of their places. They also have one in Vegas too. So I ship it to this authenticator. They open the box, they check them out, and then they ship them to the customer. So this is going FedEx. So the shipping label doesn't cost me any money. And it's going FedEx. All the stuff that goes authenticity guaranteed goes FedEx. That's through eBay's authenticity guarantee program. So I don't get to choose what I'm shipping this from. The shipping label is automatically generated from eBay. Nick Smith, how are sales, brother? Are you seeing an uptick, like a fall kind of uptick in sales? Are you above August? What's up, Robbie? Robbie bringing some positive energy. Look at this. Look at all this energy. Look at all that positive energy from Robbie. I honestly have no clue why eBay is going through the hassle of authenticating Solomon hiking boots. There's just nobody who's making these fake. It's crazy. Emmanuel's in the house. I learned a lot from watching you and Sarah's video. Just started selling on eBay and Depop last month. Nice. What made you choose eBay and Depop? Just curious. eBay and Depop. Hope you're getting off to a good start and making you some money. And hopefully the most important metric in this business is and always will be learning. So I hope you're focusing on learning, and hopefully you're making some mistakes along the way, stubbing your toe, and moving forward with new knowledge. That's the most important thing. But hopefully you're making some money and stuff too. September is my best month of the year so far. Been crushing it. Love to hear that, Nick Smith. It's a lot easier than I thought. Nice. How does that work and how often? I'm sorry, Travis. You might have to be more specific. I'm not sure what you're asking about. Don't forget to like. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. Nate's reminding everybody to hit that like button. That helps us out. And if you haven't hit that follow or subscribe button, we'd love to have you on board too. Next up is Antonio. Thank you for that, Nate. I don't think I say that enough. I got to remind people. Antonio. Because if you like it, it just puts the video out to more people, which means more people come and join the conversation, which I think makes a better conversation. So this is a LL Bean Peanuts collab. You can see it says Happy Trails. It's got Snoopy, birds. You can see it says LL Bean right there on the graphic on the front. So nice little hoodie piece right here. I paid $5 for this at the thrift store. It sold for $45. $45. That was on a best offer. Was that a best offer? Yeah, that was a best offer. So awesome sale right here. Pretty psyched about that. I mean, profit on this piece is going to be about 30, probably 28. I'll make a couple bucks off shipping. Probably make $30 in profit off this one right here. Excuse me. This is going to Antonio. Thank you, Antonio. I started flipping golf clubs that I would find at my local Goodwills on Facebook Marketplace. And I started finding great clothes at thrift. So I searched and it made sense to resell used clothes. Nice. Are you still doing the clubs too? I just don't find clubs at thrift stores around here. Either someone beats me to them every single time, which is possible, I suppose, or the Goodwills are selling those online on their own store, or nobody's donating them. But I think it's one of the former two. I think the Goodwills are probably pulling the good ones aside and selling those online. That's my guess. I don't know that I've ever bought a pair of. I'm trying to think if I've bought like a club or a club set at a Goodwill around here. I don't think I have. Now, when I was in Florida, I would find them from time to time, but not in the 3 years that we've been back. It'll be 3 years, by the way, tomorrow that we've been back in Western North Carolina. Great sale right there. $30 in profit. LL Bean Peanuts collab. Freaking really cool piece too, by the way. The eBay authentication program ? Let me scroll back up, Travis. How does that work and how often? It's when a shoe is worth, I think it's like over $80, and it's, yeah, they I don't exactly know how it works, to be honest with you, because sometimes I sell shoes over $80. So what I'm going to do is I don't know how to answer your question, how often. I'm not really sure what that means, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the link exactly that's going to explain the details of that authenticity program. It's going to tell you about it. I just don't, sometimes my stuff that's $100, it'll go through the authenticity program. Sometimes it won't. I just don't really know, but I'm sure the answers are down there in that program details. But ultimately, the way it works is you send the item to the eBay authenticator. They open the package, they check that they're real, and then they send them along to the customer. I think that's how it works, but there's probably more details to it. I dropped that link down below in the chat. I only find golf clubs at garage sales that have, yeah, same. I found a few sets when I lived in Florida. I'd find like the full set with the bag and everything, and those would be like some good wins, but usually the singles sucked. I would find them from time to time. I'm in the Bay Area. Nice. Last year, I found a lot more of the golf bags did the best. Love it. Golf bags can be great sellers. Where do you get boxes from? I have all my shipping supplies, Lyles. They're all linked. If you go to my profile and click recommended reseller supplies, I have a huge document of everything that we use for our business, including shipping supplies. Everything right down to the computer, the mouse, this freaking table that we use. Literally everything is linked in that document. It's pretty comprehensive. It tells you exactly like if there's boxes in there, which there are, it'll tell you what I ship in those boxes. If there's poly bags, it'll tell you what size, what types of items will fit in each size poly bag. It's all linked in that document. So just tap on my name and go to that link that says recommended reseller supplies. You'll find it all. Or you can just go to chris@peak.com and you can find all that stuff too. Next up is Billy. This is Brooks Brothers. Nice little pattern on this one, and it's got the logo on the chest. These tend to sell better. So modern pattern plus the logo on the chest, I paid $5. Sold for $17 on a best offer, plus $6.95 shipping. So not getting rich off that one, but those typically sell. I don't know why I accepted $17. Usually I'm selling those for $18. to $22 is the range that I sell those, plus the shipping. You're welcome, Lyles. All right, so this is going to Billy. Billy is in. I wrote the thank you card to Bill, not Billy. I should put the Y. There we go. Got the Y in there. This is going to Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I didn't know there was a Marlboro in Maryland. My uncle lives in Marlboro, Mass, but I did not know there was a Marlboro, Maryland. Out the door. Thank you, Billy. All right, we're getting through all this stuff. We're making progress now. Next up is for Marat. Bless you. Next up is Marat. What did Marat get? Brand new pair of diesel. I bought these online arbitrage, bought a whole bunch of pairs. Some of them sold quick, some of them did not. This one is a did not, but it did sell for full asking price, $114.95 on those. These are called Diesel Safados. It's a men's size 34 by 32. These are regular fit, straight leg, if you care. Probably the biggest, that's the biggest sale price of the weekend, $114.95. No worries. This bin is getting overflowing now. I'm actually going to have to take it to the post office because my new postal worker showed up like 11:15 today, which is by far the earliest that they've ever showed up on a Monday. Next up is Joe's Jeans, which is fine. It happens. So Joe's Jeans, these sold for a best offer $23.99. This was a strange negotiation with this person. So I had them listed for $27.99. The person's opening offer was $20, so I countered at $23.99. They came back with $19, which I thought was strange. If I wasn't going to accept 20, I'm not sure why I would accept 19. Maybe that's a strategy that works for people. It did not work with me. So then I countered back at $23.99, and then they accepted $23.99. So I don't know what the games were, but they sold $23.99. I paid $5 at the thrift store. Joe's Jeans, these are the classic fit straight leg. When you comp jeans, you have to comp based on the fit or the model and the size. Sometimes you'll find yourself some really high sell-through rate sizes or really high sell-through rate models. You can't just comp Joe's Jeans. That can be very deceiving because some styles and some sizes are just in more demand and have less supply. So just started following. What's up, Michelle in the house? Just started following you, and you have helped me a lot. And I just do this part-time. Do you launder your clothing items, and how long does it take you to fold using your board? So I thank you for being here. Appreciate the question. I launder items only when necessary. So if there's smells or if there's stains or if they're dirty, then I will wash them. Otherwise, I do not. And how long does it take me to fold something with a folding board? I don't know. Let's find something to fold. Let's find something to fold. Those are all pants, which I don't use the board for. Here's a jacket. You can see how long it takes me to fold this jacket. I don't know if this is helpful for you. Somebody can time it. Somebody start the timer. I'll tell you when to start. I'm just going to zip it up. I haven't listed this item yet, but we're just going to do this. All right, start the timer. However long this takes. That amount of time. That's how long it takes. I don't know how long that was. Hopefully somebody timed it. Next up is order for Matt. Hope that helps. Next up is an order for Matt. This is a Fall Raven. I bought a whole bunch of these in January on clearance. Fall Raven. And some of them sold pretty quickly. And then once you get into summer, you know your flannel shirts are going to sit around for a little while. Now we're into September. They're starting to sell again. So this might be the last one. I'm not sure. I didn't see any other ones out there. This sold for $59 on a best offer and plus $6.95 shipping. And these are going to Westerville, Ohio. The flannels are starting to sell. This one's going to Matt. Thanks, Matt. Fall Raven is a great brand. When I lived in Colorado, in Denver, downtown, there was a Fall Raven store right down the street. It opened like while we were there. It was probably there for like the last year. But really expensive, like high-end outdoor stuff. Think Patagonia, think Cotopaxi, think Cool, you know, kind of in that neighborhood, so to speak. Fall Raven. Let's see. Chris, not sure why, but shipping from California to Pennsylvania, the priority envelope is $8.80 and the ground advantage is $9.95. Is ground cheaper for you because you are a rated seller? No, Aram. So there are some scenarios, right, where there's going to be times where priority is going to be cheaper than, say, ground advantage. That's certainly the truth. That $8.80 envelope, you're talking, that's the, I think you're talking about the flat rate, like the cardboard envelope. I don't ship clothing in those. I know some people do. I don't even know if I have any of those. I might have a couple kicking around, but that's not something that I use to ship in for clothing, that like kind of flimsy cardboard thing. I mean, I've shipped documents and stuff like that in the past, or like I'll put like a birthday card in that if I wanted to ship quickly, but I typically don't use that for clothing. Some people do, and I'm not telling people what to do, but I don't like to use that one personally for clothing. But yeah, there are some scenarios where flat rate priority will save you money over ground advantage, particularly when you're shipping across the country like that. Bought a couple things last week and I didn't notice they had stains till after I took off the tags and started taking pictures under the lights. It happens. I still list those items. I just, call out the stains and the item title in the description and in the photos. I'll do a close-up photo with a pointer pointing right at whatever the stain or flaw is. And then I price them below the market. They typically sell fast, and I get very few returns on those. Just make sure you call those items out. They'll still sell, and probably fast. The reason is because you'll be at the bottom of the market. So you'll get a lot of traffic to your listing because the price will be really low. Let's go thrifting. I like your style. 1-2-0. Wow, thank you. I'm glad that helped. So do you ever look at bags for Fall Raven and other like brands? Do you ever look at bags for Fall Raven and other like brands? I mean, yeah, if I found a Fall Raven bag, if it was the right price, I would buy it for sure. There's a trick where you can turn those cardboard envelopes into a box. Nice, Lou. I like it. Show us the trick. Next up is for Brandon. This is another big sale. $109.99 on this. I paid $50 for this. You can see the retail price, $188. It's a Polo Ralph Lauren Polo Bear. Look at the bear hanging out on there. So it's a hoodie. So I paid $50 for this, and it sold for $109.99, which is my full asking price. Whenever I have Polo Bear stuff in stock, which I have some in stock right now, I always get a crazy amount of offers. I get a ton of attention on these items, usually a lot of low offers. But if I'm just patient, somebody's going to come along and say, cool, I could pay $188 for this, or I can just buy it from this guy for freaking $109.99. Why don't I do that? And you get a full sale price. But I've had people offering $60 on this, $50 on this, $80 on this. Just got to be patient. And somebody will come along and pay full asking price. And I didn't have to be that patient. I mean, it's not like this thing has sat around very long. I'll tell you how long it took to sell. Give me a second. Wait for it. There's so many sales on this silly screen. Oh, here it is. It took 21 days to sell, so 3 weeks. But in that 3 weeks, I can't even tell you how many offers I got on this. The Polo Bear stuff is in just such high demand. And full asking price. Just had to wait out the 3 weeks. You're welcome, Emmanuel. I have so much Polo Bear in my personal. Maybe I should sell them and upgrade. There you go. There you go, maybe. There you go. It's a good seller. People like it. I like it. I think it's cool stuff. I think it's cool stuff. But I never keep it for myself because I'm always like, well, I can just wear something else and just make money. I like making money better. Next up is, what did I miss? Is that everything? Is that everything? That's all my shipping labels. Oh, we got some coffee orders going out. I also got an Amazon order that we'll get to in a second. Let's ship out some orders from chris@peak.com. We got to print out that label. Yes. All right, we got a couple coffee orders going out. Sorry, I got a text from another. 1 second. Got a local coffee customer who's going to be coming by to pick up. So wanted to get that bag out there for him. All right, so we got some coffee orders going out. First one is going to Trisha. Thank you so much, Trisha. You have a shipping confirmation in your inbox right now. So Trisha got her a bag of Hooper's Creek medium roast. This is our OG. This is our best seller. All our coffee is organic and fair trade, and this one is actually single origin too. So this is from Chiapas, Mexico, and it's roasted by our friends up the street in Black Mountain, North Carolina. They've been voted Dynamite Roasting. They've been voted the #1 coffee roaster in Western North Carolina 13 years in a row, which is crazy. To win anything 1 year is nuts to be the best, but 13 years in a row. So if you want to check out our coffee and get you a bag, you can go to chris@peak.com, or you can go directly to this link I'm going to drop below in the chat. You'll be able to see that if you're on YouTube or Facebook. That link is right there. That'll bring you right to our coffee website, and it can answer all the questions you might have about coffee. Of course, I can answer them right here live too. So Trisha got, this is actually we have 2 first-time customers, which I'm excited about. So Trisha got her a bag. She's in Mason City, Iowa. So thank you so much, Trisha. Big dose of gratitude for you. Everybody gets a handwritten thank you note. This coffee, it is fresh. It is delicious. So we get it roasted fresh every single Thursday. Coffee, just like produce or vegetables or fruit, right? Fresh coffee is like fresh food. It tastes better. You can notice the difference. In fact, when Trisha gets this in her mailbox, she's probably going to message me and say, oh my gosh, I could smell the coffee as I walk down the driveway to the mailbox. When you have fresh coffee, it's just different. It's just better. So if you want to check out the coffee, if you have any questions, let me know. I dropped the link down below there in the chat. Big fan of this coffee business. It's our side hustle, so to speak. At one point in time, reselling clothing online was my side hustle. I had a full-time job as a career coach, and I sold clothing as a side hustle. Well, now I sell clothing full-time. We have a coffee side hustle, and you can see our coffees right there behind us. We have a light roast, a medium roast, and a dark roast. They're all delicious. They're all fair trade, and they're all organic. This is top of the food chain coffee. You won't find better coffee. You might find coffee that you vibe with a little better, but you won't find a higher level quality of coffee than fair trade, organic, and single origin. So this one right here is our light roast. It's called Peak Season. It is seasonal. So this is our fall light roast. This is actually just the second roast of our fall light roast. We just switched to it a couple weeks ago. So this is going to have tasting notes like a subtle apple, orange peel, and caramel. I get more caramel than anything from this one, but this is delicious. And this is not flavored coffee. This is, it's just the natural flavors from the roasting process and from the beans themselves. So that's our light roast. It changes every season. This season, it is the fall seasonal light roast. So if you have any questions, let me know. We also have a dark roast as well. Next order is going to Harold. Harold's another first-time customer, longtime follower. Harold sent me a nice note over the weekend and put in his order. So he's got the Hooper's Creek medium roast. All our coffee is available ground or whole bean. So if you like to grind it yourself at home like we do, we have whole bean for you. If you like to buy it already ground, we have that too. And right now we have every coffee in stock, and we refresh. We get a new roast every single Thursday, which is great. So thank you, Harold. Big thank you to you if you're watching this live. Sometimes Harold watches the recordings too. So Harold, if you're watching on the recording, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the coffee. This is Harold's first time buying the coffee, so it's always fun to ship to a new customer. I have a feeling we're going to have Trisha and Harold hooked. Because once you switch to coffee of this quality, it is, and this kind of freshness, it is just different. Our house always smells like coffee. This office particularly smells like coffee, especially on Thursdays when we get the fresh roasted stuff in. It's just like, it smells like a coffee shop in here, which is awesome. What's your dark roast? I'm a coffee snob. Well, let's talk about it. Welcome in. We like coffee snobs. You don't have to be a snob to enjoy this coffee, but you can be a snob to enjoy this coffee. So this is our Black Mountain Dark Roast. It's named after the town that it's roasted in, Black Mountain, North Carolina, which also happens to be the name of the tallest mountain range east of the Rockies, the Black Mountains. So you might be familiar with Mount Mitchell, which is the highest peak east of the Rockies. That's in the Black Mountain range. So that's the name of our dark roast. It is, you're going to have tasting notes. It's going to be a nice creamy finish to it, a little bit of hint of jammy fruit, and a little roastiness. I get some like dark chocolate from it too, but not heavy dark chocolate. It's a blend of 3 different beans from Honduras. It's delicious. It's fair trade. It's organic. It's not like most dark roast where it's all roasty, like kind of one note. It's just dark. It's just roasty. That's not what you'll get with this. You'll get that creamy finish to it, and you'll probably get a little bit of dark chocolate with it too, which is really nice. And as it warms up, or sorry, as it cools off, that's when you start to get that subtle, like jammy fruit flavor. But that's typically only, coffee's flavors change as it's at different temperatures. Like hot tastes different than warm, and warm tastes different than cool. But you'll get some of that as it cools. You'll probably get some of that jammy fruit. It's delicious for if you do cold brew. It's delicious. It's great for iced coffees. It's also great for espressos too, if you're into that kind of thing. So I need to try some of that coffee. Well, you can. And if you get it, as always, if you get an order in while we're live, I'll stop whatever I'm doing and we'll get your order out with a big dose of gratitude. We've done this since the very beginning. That's how we launched the coffee. We launched it because we were live streaming every morning, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. And someone said, hey, you should have your own coffee since we're always drinking coffee together every morning. And I said, that's ridiculous. And then fast forward a couple months later, we partnered with our favorite coffee roaster and we brought you this coffee. And it's crazy. It was the first company I reached out to. I didn't think they'd want to do business with me. I was like, I don't know anything about the coffee business. But I'm like, let's reach out to our favorite coffee roaster that makes our favorite coffee and see if they want to play ball. And they did. And they keep wanting to play ball. So here we are 2.5 years into that business. And they are the best people. And they just won that best coffee roaster in Western North Carolina. They just won that 3 weeks ago. That they announced that again for the 13th year in a row. And that's from WNC Magazine, does a best of every year. And they got best coffee roaster, 13th year in a row. Isn't that crazy? Is the link. It is there, but you can also just click the link that I'm about to drop in the chat right there. That's a direct link that will take you right to the coffee website. But it's also, if you go to my profile, you'll find it. Or if you go to Chris at Peak, you'll find it. And let me know, Michelle, you can tell me what you currently drink right now, and I can tell you what would be a good fit for you. It sounds like you're a dark roast fan, but I'm happy to give advice too or suggestions. Jay Kotz is in the house. Colorado, Resell it. What is up? Where in Colorado are you joining us from, Jay Kotz? I used to live in Denver. You may already know that. Frenchie's in the house. What's up, Frenchie? Thank you for the compliment on the coffee. Frenchie's a great coffee customer. If you haven't tried our coffee before and you're not really sure what your jam is going to be, we always encourage people to start with our medium roast. It's definitely going to be the most balanced cup of coffee. This coffee won't offend anybody. It is a total crowd pleaser. It's going to have your tasting notes are mostly going to be like a subtle sweet milk chocolate, a hint of spice you'll pick up on it too. But this is from Chiapas, Mexico, which is the southernmost state of Mexico, up in the highlands there. It's actually Kim and I's favorite coffee. We drink that probably 80% of the time. And then we mix in the light roast and the dark roast. Sometimes we blend light roast and dark roast too, and we have some fun with our coffee too. But more often than not, we're drinking that medium roast. It is our all-time favorite coffee, and it's an honor to be able to sell that coffee with our name on it, because it literally is our favorite coffee, which is pretty cool. And it has been for years. We've been drinking Dynamite coffee. Like the first time we lived in Asheville, we drank their coffee, and then when we moved back, we, of course, started hanging with them again. Thank you, Michelle. I saw your order come in. I appreciate that. So Michelle's got, you got a bag of the ground dark roast. Nice. Do I got that right? You like your coffee already ground? You got the Black Mountain Dark Roast ground going out to Michelle. Thank you so much. We'll get this packed up for you right now while we're live. One thing that we've been doing too, we renamed our coffee, that medium roast. We used to call it Peak Blend, but in January, we rebranded it to Hooper's Creek Medium Roast. And the reason is because in our neighborhood, our neighborhood is known as Hooper's Creek. That's kind of the informal term for it. And it's because we live right on Hooper's Creek. And Hooper's Creek was the creek that flooded my neighbors that we were fundraising for back in the fall. If you watched any of those videos, you helped us raise over $45,000 for our neighbors who lost their homes or had their homes severely damaged in Hurricane Helene. So in those first few days and weeks after the storm, we were literally taking donation money that you were sending us, and we were bringing that in cash to help these neighbors get started with rebuilding their homes that were, in most cases, totally destroyed. In some cases, washed off their foundation, destroyed. So we renamed the coffee Hooper's Creek to honor, what our neighbors went through, to honor our neighborhood here and how our community pulled together. So it's now called Hooper's Creek Medium Roast. And since we did that rebrand, $1.50 of every medium roast Hooper's Creek bag that we sell, $1.50 goes directly to those families as they continue their rebuilds. They're all back in their homes at this point now. Their homes aren't, most of them still have work to be done in their homes. It's sort of like living projects that they're living in. But the financial rebuild is crazy. So we're continuing to raise funds for those families as they get back on their feet. So that's how we can commit to this long term. We'll long term continue to use our medium roast, our best selling coffee, to continue to help families that need it here in Western North Carolina. So right now we're going to continue to work with these families. At some point, we'll probably move on to another charity to keep that going. But we put our money, we want to be long-term supporting our community. And that's how we committed to it, by taking our best-selling favorite coffee and making $1.50 of that go to help whatever cause it might be. And right now it's Hurricane Helene relief. So thank you, Michelle. I appreciate your order so much. And we're going to get this thank you card done for you. Kim and I really hope that you love the coffee. Our favorite customers are repeat customers. So Michelle, we'll get this. You're going to get a shipping confirmation here in just a second. We got your handwritten thank you note right here for you. And this is our little side hustle now, our coffee. It's such a fun side hustle. All awesome stuff. Now subscribed, and I'll definitely be checking out the coffee. Came here for the Q&A, stayed for the coffee community. Thanks, Erica. And we'll get back. I still got an Amazon order to get out. I had a couple orders come in. Let me know down below in the chat if you want. I had a couple eBay orders come in. You can say yes or no if you want me to keep the live going. I'll go and grab those orders from inventory, and we'll ship those out too if you want. So if you want that, say yes. If you don't want that, say no. You can vote on it. Or you could just leave, I suppose, too. But let me get this shipping label out for you, Michelle. I appreciate you trying the coffee. It means a lot to Kim and I. Supporting our tiny little business here that we run out of our home. Been in business 7 years now. When we started this business, the reselling business, it was out of a 1-bedroom apartment, 720 square feet in downtown Denver, Colorado. And yeah, I mean, I just had storage in closets. At one point, we bought one of our neighbors. They were moving, and she sold us her bureau. And we bought that for $50, and that became storage for clothes when we were a pretty small operation at that point. And closets. I started buying bins to store stuff in, and eventually I had to buy a small storage unit, like a 5x7 space that was within our apartment building. It was great. We just walked down the hallway and had our own little entry, lock and key storage unit there. So built some shelves in there and started putting some bins and stuff in there, and just kind of kept growing. So now it's we're only out of a 2-bedroom apartment here. The second bedroom is for the office, and our 1-car garage is our storage for most of our inventory. So it's not like we have this grand big operation. This is just bedroom number 2 of our home. Nothing fancy. Michelle, thank you so much for your order. You're all packed and shipped out. You just got a shipping confirmation in your inbox. Faster than Bezos. That's going to Georgia, so that's not going to take long to get you. You should get some nice fresh coffee nice and quick to you. I appreciate that, Michelle. Thank you so much. You rock. Emmanuel says yes. Chef Trade says yes. We'll keep shipping. You got it. Centennial, I know Centennial. Centennial is like a DTC area, if I remember correctly, right? Do I get my geography right, Jay Kotz? Erica says, yes. It's raining here in West Texas, so I'm busy just getting some items before mail drop. I got it. I got you. I like it. I'm going to put that from Erica up on the screen. I appreciate that positive energy. All right, let's take a look at what's sold since we've been live. I might have some live offer situation stuff going too. Those are always fun. Oops. Okay. All right, so I sold a Charles Tyrrell shirt and a Columbia PFG Clemson Tigers pullover sweatshirt. That was one that I took a risk on. So I'm going to go grab those out of inventory. And let me bring up my shipping screen here. I also, let me do this Amazon order first. Sorry, I forgot about that one. eBay bulk ship. So let's see if any Poshmark came in while we were hanging. No Poshmark, just eBay. Okay. So 2 more orders, but first let's get this Amazon order out. So I sold this pair of, these are Lee Comfort Stretch, like khaki pants and chinos, I guess, if you will. And these sold on Amazon for a price. Let's see what they sold for. These sold for $34.98. I paid $8 for these retail clearance. So 8 into $34.98. Amazon's free shipping. And my shipping label, I don't know how much that cost me. It's not on my screen. Doesn't say it here either. But I paid something for the shipping label. And so that comes out of the profits for Amazon. On eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, the customer pays for shipping. At least that's how I have it set up. And on Amazon, it's free shipping. You can charge for shipping on Amazon, but I don't think it's the way to be really competitive on Amazon. On Amazon, people expect that free shipping. It's just part of the culture of Amazon buying and selling. So we do free shipping on Amazon. So $34.98. My shipping label was probably $6.50. So after that, I'll end up keeping $28.50. Amazon charges about 19% fees. So that'll be another $7. So basically $21.50. I'm going to make like 14. What did I say I paid for it? I'm going to make like $13 or $14 on this. But again, with Amazon, there's no measuring, there's no taking photos or any of that stuff. You just scan the UPC to list it. You put in your quantity, you put in your price. It's pretty easy. So it just doesn't take as much time and energy to list and just all that stuff on Amazon. How do you price Posh since you have to include shipping? So Poshmark automatically charges the buyer, I think it's like $8.30 for shipping. So I price Poshmark the same. Buyer pays shipping on Poshmark. It's not free shipping. All right, I got to go grab these 2 orders out of the garage. One's F10 and one's F5. Give me about 2 minutes. I'm going to go grab these 2 items from the garage, and I'll be right back in. F5 for the Charles Tyrrell and F10 for the Columbia. I can remember that. I can always take my cell phone with me too, just in case. I'll be right back. All right, 2 orders. We'll go over these. We'll get them all shipped out. So first up is brand's called Charles Tyrwhitt. This is a British brand. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Poshmark lowered the shipping. I forgot with the ground advantage. I'm still on Poshmark. Thank you for that update, Erica. So Charles Tyrwhitt, not a great brand for resale value. It tends to sell more in like the $18 to $20 range. So I don't always pick it up. What I'm typically looking for is nicer patterns and bigger sizes. I'll also look for French cuffs. And actually this one, I'm just realizing this is a French cuff. So this sold on a nifty best offer of $17.10. So the buyer, this happened all while we were live. I didn't do any of this. So Nifty sent that offer because the buyer, Caitlin, watched the item on eBay. That 10% off offer went out to her. She accepted it. So we got the sale while I was live, which is great. It also happens while I sleep and all that stuff too. So we'll get this one shipped out. That's going to Caitlin. Everybody gets a handwritten thank you note. The front just has a QR code, my business name. It says thank you on it. Also has my website name. And then on the back, I just write, Caitlin, thank you, Chris. So we'll get this packed up. Charles Tyrwhitt, if you can, it's one of those brands, if you can get it cheap enough, or if you're comfortable with selling items for like, $17 to $20, you can do well with Charles Tyrwhitt. Unfortunately, for most people, the buy cost is going to be too high to really play with Charles Tyrwhitt. I go back and forth on it a little bit, but I'm tolerating some $17, $18, $19 sales right now. And, it's not huge profit. I'll make like $10 off this, maybe $9, but it adds up. It adds up, and I can find them all the time. So if it's a nice pattern, typically a bigger size, I'll grab it. Next up is a Columbia. I don't buy a lot of this specific item. This sportswear stuff doesn't sell like it used to. You can find good sportswear, don't get me wrong, but kind of mediocre brand like Columbia Sportswear doesn't sell like it did 5 years ago. I'll tell you that right now, or 10 years ago. But Columbia, Clemson, this one sold for a full asking price, $21.99. It's like a quarter zip little jobby. Yeah, you can see the zipper right there. So I paid $5 for this. It sold for $21.99. Not the best seller, but this is something that you kind of hope sells this time of year when college football season and all that. So this is going to Seneca, South Carolina, to a Clemson fan. They're probably going to a game next weekend or something. They want a little quarter zip because it's got to be cool. So this is going to Charles. Thank you, Charles. Thanks for hanging out a little bit longer while I get the last couple orders out. We'll throw this. It's probably going to be at a 2-pound rate. Nope. Comes in at 15 ounces. I like that. So since this is only going to South Carolina at a 1-pound rate, it's going to be $5.87 to ship that one. And this Charles Tyrwhitt's probably going to be a 12-ounce rate. It is. So that'll be $5.51 to ship that one ground advantage. So we'll get these printed out. Hopefully the shipping cooperates. It didn't earlier, or the bulk shipping, I should say. I just started selling on Posh and Mercari. I'm intimidated by eBay, trying to learn new things every day. I like it. Just because something's intimidating or scary doesn't mean that you shouldn't learn it and shouldn't face the challenge. And I don't think it doesn't sound like you're backing down from it, but eBay has consistently been by far our biggest platform. Just to give you some platform notes from today, or from this year, we've sold 1,796 items, actually 1,798 items, including these two right here on eBay, and we've sold 526 on Poshmark. So 68.3% of our sales are on eBay, whereas 16% are on Poshmark. So pretty big difference. Like, to me, eBay can definitely be scary. There is a learning curve to it. I get it. But certainly, I think the juice is worth the squeeze because there's just so much more potential with eBay. It's a bigger platform. It's got more users. It's international on top of that. So that's just my 2 cents. Every year, eBay beats, Poshmark at least 2x, but usually around 3x. So this bin is just overflowed at this point. Good weekend of sales. We're just adding to it now, and this is going to Charles. Do you price differently for platform? No, I know some people do. I just leave the same prices, just makes things easy and fast. Can you explain the sharing process on Poshmark, how to keep listings at the top? So if you do it manually, Julie, anytime that you share an item, it's going to show up at the top of search results every time you share it. And then, as the minutes go by and the hours go by, other people are sharing, right? And then theirs are going to be above yours. On Nifty, my cross lister automatically does all the sharing for me. And I can show you how that works in just a second here. Let me get this packed up. So all day, every day, it's sharing my closet constantly. So my items are getting to the top of search results constantly throughout the course of the day. And I don't have to worry about doing anything. I don't have to click any buttons or any of that stuff. I'll do a quick shared screen here. I'll bring you into my Nifty platform just to show you exactly what's going on here. So let's do this. Shared screen, share. Let me know, Julie, if this is helpful or if you want to take the conversation a different way. So this is my dashboard that shows all my inventory. These are my most recent cross listings. You can see these items right here. That Orvis is my most recent item that I listed. And actually, I do all my listings right here in Nifty. If we go into my drafts, you can see items that I've drafted over the last several days are right in here. And I use the AI listing tool. So I will drop in the photos. I hit this button right here that says generate your entire listing with AI. It writes out an item title. It writes out a description. It checks off all these boxes right here. Like the item specifics, and I go in and I set a price, and then I scroll to the bottom and I hit list item, and it lists it on all three platforms, eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, all at once. So that's the AI listing tool. That's how I switched to listing about 4 months ago. But we were more specifically talking about this dashboard about the sharing. So if I go into the dashboard here, you can see Poshmark is at the top here. And this is all the automation stuff that's happening. So far today, it has shared 17 automatic 10% off offers with people. And I can see those 17 offers right here. $35 offer sent, $29 offer sent, $76 offer sent. So these have all been sent throughout the course of the day today to potential buyers who liked these items. If I go back, you can see the shares is right here at the top. This is what you specifically asked about. 1,613 times Nifty has shared an item from my closet. It's also done 131 party shares, 181 community shares, which means it's sharing other people's stuff. And the idea is that those people then in turn return the favor and return my stuff too. So we can see it's automatically sharing and relisting on Poshmark 4,400 times throughout the day. Now we're up to 615. It just did 2 more while we've been talking about it. So, and you can see all the shares and relists right here. And the follows, it's just doing all this stuff. I don't have to do any of this. This is the stuff that on Poshmark drives people crazy because they don't want to do all that social stuff. And by they, I mean I do not want to do all that social stuff. So it allows you to not have to do any of that. And it just does it for you, which is a beautiful thing. And it does it way better than I can ever do it. I can't sit there all day and just like share. I would never be able to share 4,400 times a day. That's crazy, right? How do you set up your offer parameters for the auto offer? That's a great question coming in from AngeCat. I can just show you exactly how that works. Showing is better than telling sometimes. So let me just do another shared screen real quick. Give me 1 second to boot that up. And here we are. Boom, mini peek down in the corner. Okay, so I'm going to go to the dashboard. This is the automation dashboard. And see how it says update settings right there. I have it turned on. So it says single item offer, offer type, offer to all likers. Wait 10 minutes to 15 minutes before sending, send 10% off, no shipping discount. I also have the multi-item turned on right there too. You can see send 10% off with no shipping discount. You can also add a comment to the bundle if you want to. I don't have a comment to add to it. I just send the numbers and leave it at that. So that's how mine's set up. 10-minute to 15-minute wait, 10% off. But you can put 5%, you can put 7%, you can put 15%, you can put 20%. You can do whatever you want. And that's how you set it up. The process is the same with eBay. It does the offers the same way on eBay. You can see 21 offers have been sent on eBay today. Does it on Mercari. I haven't sent any offers today, but it's done 35 relist on Mercari, which is helping items get to the top of search results. Same thing here. The recreates on eBay is helping old listings show up higher in search results. It's already done 47 of those today for me. And I don't use Depop, but you could use the same tools for Depop if you wanted to as well. Hope that helps. Let me know if you have follow-up questions with that. What did I miss here? Do you price differently? I already answered that one. Motivating knowing you lots of sellers don't have warehouses to make money. Yeah, and that's a conversation that's popped up from time to time. Do I get a storage unit? What happens if we start buying pallets? Do I want to go into a warehouse? There's certainly opportunities to go that direction. I'm more inclined to keep running this business out of the home. Kim works from home too. She works in our other bedroom, which is on the other end of the house. And I just like being at home. I just like, some people like going to an office or like going to a warehouse or whatever. I like being at home, just a homebody at this point. So there's different ways you can do it. And we've just found a way to make it work out of our house and out of our garage, which has been a blessing, frankly. It's just, different people have different values about this whole thing. I agree. eBay to me was easier than Poshmark. That's interesting. Erica, I just started selling on eBay last month and I was intimidated to do so. Watch content to learn. I like it. Cool. I'm not using Nifty. So then you'll just have to manually share those items on Poshmark, which I've honestly never done. I've been using automation tools. Even before I used Nifty, I used another automation bot to do all my sharing. So you'd have to go into Poshmark, and I don't even know. I've never even done it before. I'm being totally honest with you, but I guess you can just share a listing from Poshmark and it would get to the top of search results. I'm sorry, I've just never done it before. I've always, literally 3 weeks after I started cross listing on Poshmark in 2021, yes, 2021, I was like, all right, I gotta get a bot, and I started using a bot to do all my sharing and stuff and that's when my Poshmark really took off. Is when I had a bot that was doing all the sharing, doing all the following, doing all the relisting and stuff, and that's when I saw Poshmark really take off. Before that, Poshmark was pretty much irrelevant for me. It was the bot that took it to the next level. 1 second. I bought this. This is sort of another conversation. I bought this power bank. I ordered it over the weekend. We had a hurricane that was like coming out this direction, and I remember, one of the, we didn't have power for weeks and internet for weeks, so we just sit around and we're talking about what would we do next time to prepare if we got another storm. And like we all had like lists of things that we would have for the next storm coming through. And then I saw that we were like, gosh, there's another storm coming. It's not coming, by the way. It's like, yeah, it's getting diverted, whatever. It's going to go off to the Atlantic. It's not going to happen, but it was going to happen as of Friday. So I was like, well, one of the things I wanted was a power bank. I would have killed for a power bank the last time. Remember when the storm comes through and you're like, you want all this stuff. Amazon wasn't delivering out here. Nobody was delivering nothing out here for a while, but we had wish lists of things that we wanted if another storm came in mind. One of those was a power bank for me. So I went and ordered it. And then when the storm diverted, I was like, you know what? That's fine. I want to have this anyway. Like, this is a good thing to have, and like, as like an emergency kit sort of thing. I also said I was going to get one of those like satellite internet things, which I'll probably get. I just don't want to spend the money for it right now, but I'll probably get that at some point too. But anyway, I ordered that. The only reason I brought that up is I got to plug in my computer now, because I was charging that power bank and not the computer, and now the computer is low, so now I got to charge the computer. For eBay, we are just starting off cross-listing there. Since we started Nifty, we used to do only Poshmark. Do you have advice to find sell-through rate for eBay? Are we just searching and then going to completed sold? Yep, that's exactly what you're got to do. You're going to search for an item. You're going to sort it for completed sold. You're going to see how many of those items sold over the last 90 days. Then you're going to filter it back for available, and you're going to see how many are currently listed. You divide the number sold by the number listed, multiply that by 100. That's your sell-through rate right there. Preference, desktop or mobile. If we're talking about Nifty, I do all my listing from desktop because I use the AI listing tool. But I do some things from the mobile. But when I'm doing the active listing, I do that from desktop. But some people prefer mobile. And I use both, but listing specifically, I'm going to use from desktop personally. Do you need? Yes. So Rose, you'll be selling through eBay and Poshmark, right? So you'll need to have accounts on those. Then Nifty connects to those accounts to then automate some of the stuff that you're doing. But you'll have to have accounts on eBay and in Poshmark. Yes, good question. That's the only reason I started Poshmark. Nifty. Hey, Poshmark's huge for me. What did I say that we'd already sold this year? I gave you a number a little while ago. $19,921 just on Poshmark this year, and that's our secondary platform. So that really helps us move inventory. It's 526 units sold, averaging on the year 1.9 units sold per day on Poshmark. So I mean that's significant. That really helps our business quite a bit. You're welcome, Julie. I'm home with 2 little ones, so Poshmark being so actively social is tough. Just get Nifty and automate it. If you just got the Nifty, just the automation tool for Nifty on Poshmark, I'm just going to look up what that price is. It's inexpensive. If you were just going to do automation, so if you just did Poshmark only automation, it's $22 a month. So if you were doing like social stuff every single day, I mean, think $22, just be like, okay, that's 1 hour of work, $22 a month. And you're going to do more than 1 hour of work of like relisting, delisting, sending offers, and doing that sharing. That's going to take you more than an hour a month, right? So for me, $22 to have this thing do it all day, every day, better than I could ever do it for basically the cost of 1 hour of labor, to me, that's a no-brainer. You got to spend money to make money. I mean, you will make more than $22 extra profit from having automation tools running on Poshmark. I mean, it changed my Poshmark. My Poshmark was flat until I started using a bot, and then my Poshmark really started being relevant for my business. Love the power banks. They come in handy for sure. I have like 4 of those. Yeah, it's funny. I don't really buy I don't spend money on like just random tech and doodads and things. I just never been that type of person. I buy what I absolutely need and nothing more. I tend to be pretty frugal about most things. But that thing was like, I want to say it was like $80 or something like that. Of course, anytime I'm spending any of my hard-earned money, I probably spent an hour researching exactly which is the right one to buy. It might have been 2 hours, to be honest with you. So, but I feel like that was the right buy for us. It's funny that you got 4 of them. It's smart. I don't know why. I wish I had one when the hurricane came through last time. Of course, I would have ran through that thing in no time. I would have needed like 10 of them. On eBay, do you fill out everything when making a new listing? Does it make a big... Hi, Chris. On eBay, do fill out everything when making a new listings. Does it make a difference? I mostly only do theme, material, pattern. Costanza, I use Nifty AI to do all my listings, so I don't have to fill out all that stuff. Nifty fills out all those different, you're talking about item specifics. So yes, I have a ton of those item specifics filled out, but I don't do it. Nifty does it for me because I do that AI. I use the AI listing tool. Thanks. I'm new. You're great. I love it. Thanks for being here. I'm about to start Poshmark. Nice, chef. Excellent on stats per year. And actually, to be honest with you, Travel Lady, I've had past years on Poshmark which were better. Poshmark messed around with some stuff last fall, and a lot of people's theory is that they kind of screwed things up for themselves a little bit. They messed around with some fee structure things and all that, and I think they pissed a lot of people off, or at least that seems to be the theory. But I'm going to look at last year. I did better on Poshmark. Last year I was averaging, and they messed with things in September, and we had the hurricane that came through in September, and it kind of sent our business sideways a little bit for a few months. But because no thrift stores were open or anything like that, I wasn't sourcing. We had no power. Most places didn't have water. So if you just look at it through August of last year, I was averaging $3,000 a month on Poshmark, and I was averaging, looks like I was averaging about 85 sales a month on Poshmark. 85 for about $3,000 was my average last year. And it's gone down this year. Yeah, I'm not averaging 85 a month this year. I'm averaging, let's see, what's 526 divided by 9? 526 divided by 9. I'm averaging 58. So that's a big difference. I was averaging 85 sales a month last year on Poshmark until September when they made that change and we had a hurricane. Just those first 9 months. The first 9 months this year, last year 85, this year 58. That's a big difference. But a lot of people's theory is that Poshmark kind of shot themselves in the foot with, and also that stuff they did back in the spring with the delisting issues, the suspensions and all that. So who knows if that's the reason or not, but I'm just telling you, my Poshmark isn't what it was last year, and it isn't what it was the year before. It's down from that. Thank you for the information. You're welcome. Nifty sounds pretty nifty. Well done, Erica. I like what you did right there. New to Nifty, but don't have the share offer stuff set up. Gotcha. I would definitely set that stuff up, ANG, if you haven't already. The automation tools, to me, if you're already paying for Nifty, turn those automation tools on. You'll make more money. You'll get more sales. Why not? And it won't cost you any extra money to turn those tools on. All right, we shipped. We're good. I got to go to the post office because. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out for a little bit today. Fun conversations today. Gosh, we were all over the place. If you're just jumping into the live right now, as soon as I turn off this live, you'll be able to watch the replay on YouTube and Facebook. So as soon as I click end on this and as soon as I say goodbye, you can go rewatch this. You can fast forward through the boring, rambling stuff. You can rewind to the really good sales that you wanted to see. But we did ship out 33, 34, 35, 36 items today. We shipped out 36 items. So you can see all 36. I was pretty transparent about how much stuff sold for, how much I paid for those items. I tried to give you the profit as much as possible. I tried to give you how many days they took to sell as much as profitable. And I tried to give you the inside scoop on why that item was good. I tried to get into it. I didn't just say it's a pair of pants. I tried to talk about seasonality. I tried to talk about models, materials, and things that help things sell, as I like to do. We do this live every Monday, 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time, and I ship out all the weekend's sales, and we do the same thing. I'm just transparent, give you a good, honest glimpse into what's going on in the business. I answer as many freaking questions as I possibly can because I want y'all to get your businesses up and cranking, and those of you who have it already up and cranking, I want them to crank even more. So if I can play a small role in helping you grow your business, I'm happy to do so. Play a tiny little role in your big journey as you build your side hustle. Maybe someday it's a full-time job, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is you're using it as a tool to make some extra money for your family, to buy a vacation, to get caught up on bills, to maybe get ahead a little bit, whatever it might be. Or maybe you just like having the hobby, like a hobby side hustle thing. That's cool too, whatever it may be. I hope that we blew a little bit of wind in your sails today, and we hope to do so again with all our content that we're going to share this week. We're going to share a whole bunch of reels every single day. We're going to share a whole bunch of photo posts. We'll share stuff every single day. And we'll do this live again next Monday, 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time. And it will be October by then. It's 2 days from October, which tends to be when things really start cranking. October, November are typically two of our best months. And usually all the way through December 18th is busy. December 18th, e-commerce tends to slow down because people assume that they can't order stuff and get it in time for Christmas. But October 1, and I'll even call it now, September 29th, let's call it, all the way through December 18th, we're going to have busy seasons. This is the shopping season. And this is when people are buying more expensive stuff too, right? Short sleeve shirts are generally cheaper than long sleeve shirts. Jackets generally sell for more money than flip-flops or swim trunks or tank tops, right? Heavy jackets, flannels, jeans, those things tend to get more money. So hopefully we're just kicking off what's going to be the best sales of the year. I'm happy to play my little role in it, which is showing you what's going on with my business. Hope you have a great weekend or a great week of sales. Hope you find some great stuff. We'll see you again next Monday, 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time. Peace.